Jack, thanks a lot for joining me. A lot to look forward to today. Chance of booking a home Hello and welcome to a sun-drenched Bristol County Ground for today's West Country derby, the final game of the Central Group stage in this season's Vitality Blast. Gloucestershire taking on Somerset. Gloucestershire, Jack Taylor's side, already guaranteed a quarter-final berth, but can they book themselves a home quarter-final with victory today? We wait and see. As for Somerset, well, Lewis Gregory's side desperately need a win in order to qualify for the next stage. A defeat, in all likelihood, means the end of the road for Somerset. We'll see what happens. There are various permutations in this one. You get the feeling the toss of the coin could be quite important. Gloucestershire's 6 victories have all come when they've set a target this season. The 2 defeats against Glamorgan, including in the last game, have both come when they've been chasing. So let's see what happens with the toss. We'll also see if Ian Cobain remains in the side. He's one of 8 ever presents, and he needs just 5 more runs to go above Michael Klinger at the top of the all-time Gloucestershire T20 scorers list. Confirmation of the teams and toss coming your way now.
Good afternoon from myself, Alex Winter. Welcome to a lovely sunny Bristol County Ground. Glorious day once again. And news of the toss here is that Somerset have won it and they are going to bat first. So Somerset batting here in a game they have to win to stand a chance of qualifying for the Vitality Blast quarterfinals. They are coming with a bit of a wet sail, Somerset. They reeled off 3 wins in succession. Another win here today will put them in contention to qualify with Gloucestershire for the last 8. The Gloucesters already through to the quarterfinals and probably assured of a home tie too, although that could change with a swing on net run rate if results go against the Gloucesters this afternoon. But by and large, looking as if Gloucestershire have secured that home quarterfinal if they can avoid disaster here today. But of course they would like to finish what's been a very successful group campaign with another victory. So the team news, the Somerset side, they make 1 change from the side who beat Northants at Taunton on Friday, and they have 1 change in that Josh Davey comes in for Craig Overton. So the Somerset side is Steve Davis and Baba Azam, a rare overseas player in the Blast this summer. Azam, who starred only 1 game really. He scored a big century at Cardiff but has otherwise struggled in the competition. Number of youngsters in this Somerset T20 lineup, led by Will Smead, who played ever so well against the Gloucesters last Sunday at Taunton. 82 from 49 balls he made down there. Very highly promising England under-19 cricketer. Tom Abel, Tom Lammonby, another youngster to look out for, made that sparkling century in the Bob Willis Trophy against Worcestershire to help lead Somerset to Lords. Lewis Goldsworthy, another youngster to look out for, a spinner who's done well in the last couple of matches. Lewis Gregory is the Somerset captain. Josh Davey, Ralph van der Merwe, all his experience. Played for Somerset in the T20 Champions League back in the day. Remember those times? Ollie Sale, another youngster to look out for as well in this experimental Somerset lineup. And Max Waller completes the visitors' 11.
Thanks, Alex. So let's take a look on your Gloucestershire side for today's game then. Miles Hammond will come in first. He hit 49 against Birmingham, 186 runs in 7 innings for him and a strike rate of 120. He'll partner Chris Dent, who's in fine form. 7 50s in 51 innings overall, 3 in his last 5. Ian Cobain needs just 5 runs to overtake Maxi Klinger at the top of the all-time scorers rate. Most T20 appearances for the club. He's on to 120 now. Ryan Higgins comes in. He's 25 years of age, of course, double figures in all 8 innings this season, leading wicket taker with 13. James Bracey will be behind the stumps, 5 stumpings, no catches yet, just 75 balls faced with the bat. Could he play a part today? Jack Taylor continues as captain, one of 8 ever presents in Gloucestershire's side this season. Benny Howell, Somerset fans will remember him, 49 not out from 18 balls in the corresponding fixture at Taunton. His first game in 13 months. Graham Van Buren, very handy down the order. Not been used that much with the bat, but when he has, he's stepped forward. Very good with the ball. He's retains his place along with Tom Smith, vastly experienced player. 12 wickets so far, including that career best 5 for 16 against Birmingham Bears. David Payne, 10 victims for him this summer, bringing him to 109 across his T20 career. And then the 1 change, Matt Taylor steps out and in comes Josh Shaw, the 24-year-old, signed from Yorkshire, of course, after a few successful loan spells. It's his first T20 appearance of the summer, his first since the end of August last year, although he has been a regular in the Bob Willis Trophy sides. So Alex, mentioned the Bob Willis Trophy there. Of course, Somerset have the final to look forward to at Lords later on this week, which is big for them. They play Essex from Wednesday morning at Lords, at the home of cricket. No Tom Banton for that game. No Tom Banton today, but I mean, just a glance down the Somerset lineup indicates how strong they are. They've had a bit of a mixed campaign, but they know a healthy win here. And I think the key is for them, as Lewis Gregory said in the build-up to this game, is actually in the past they haven't really adapted. They haven't really had the sort of nous to deal with the slightly slower pitch here. And he thinks that's sort of cost them in years gone by at times. But he thinks that now they've got a bit of momentum, they've got a bit more streetwise, and I think they fancy their chances.
Yeah, very much so. They're used to playing on some excellent wickets down at Taunton, and it has helped them a little bit this summer that the pitches haven't quite been the belters of previous years. It was obviously a decent deck for that game between the two sides last Sunday, but not quite the mountains of runs we've seen at Taunton in the past this summer. So they have been forced to adapt, and they've obviously adapted quite well in the last week or so, because they've reeled off this succession of victories to really get them going in the competition. They were really struggling when they lost to Gloucestershire last Sunday down at Taunton, and they were almost out of the competition, but they picked themselves nicely up in the week with a couple of wins to get them back in the quarter-final shake-up, and must win here today to stand a chance of qualifying. But if they do win, their net run rate is okay, and they will have a decent chance of going through.
Aside from the opening match, which was a washout here against Northamptonshire Steelbacks, when the rain just swept across the UK that day, I remember, we've had some fantastic weather here in the southwest. Every game seems to be bright sunshine. It is so again today. Ground looks absolutely resplendent. The ground staff are just finalising preparation. I see Alfred the Gorilla's out there. We haven't seen our beloved mascot all summer, but he's finally made an appearance. I don't know what part he's going to play today. There's no crowd interaction, of course, but I expect we'll see the usual peppering of supporters on the balconies at the Ashley Down Road end today, enjoying the sunshine. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon in Bristol. Thanks ever so much for joining us here. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far this summer. A quarter-final to come, possibly a home quarter-final for Gloucestershire. The Central Group table after 9 games. Remember, this is the last one of the group stage. Gloucestershire, top of the pile, 13 points. They've won 6, lost 2. Birmingham Bears are into 11 points. They're second in the table. Somerset, our visitors today, have 9. They've won 4 and lost 4. Northampton have 9 points, level with Somerset, but Somerset have a superior run rate. Glamorgan have 7 points, and propping up the table are Worcestershire Rapids, which a bit of a surprise actually, Alex, on that. I mean, perhaps not on the evidence of the game we saw here, but Worcestershire, obviously, despite fairly limited budget, have had a great recent record in this competition, winning it 2 years ago, finalists last year, but it shows how quickly things can turn round.
Yeah, very much so. I haven't had much of Moeen Ali this summer. He's been involved with the England one-day matches against Pakistan and Australia over the last months, and he was been a big leader for them really in the last couple of years as well. Played some spectacular innings. That majestic 100 he made in the quarter-final at Sussex last summer, made a big 100 at Edgbaston as well throughout the group stage. They haven't had Moeen's wonderful ability and experience, of course, but yeah, a little surprised, but it just goes to show what a great level a T20 can be. You can be blazing a trail one year, struggling the next. Derbyshire managed to get themselves through to a first T20 finals day last summer with a great campaign. In fact, their campaigns in the last few years throughout the group stages have been pretty good, but nowhere near the level this year either. So it just goes to show how quickly things can change in the shortest format.
A reminder that Somerset captain Lewis Gregory called correctly and is elected to bat first here at the Bristol County Ground. Action getting underway at 1 o'clock. Now, interestingly, Gloucestershire's 6 victories this season have all come when they've batted first. The 2 times they've chased against Glamorgan, both times they've just come up slightly short, including in the last game on Friday. Prior to that, one of their 6 victories, when they have set a target, was against Birmingham Bears here at Bristol. Convincing victory by 50 runs, an outstanding performance yet again by Jack Taylor's side with bat and ball, and we can watch the highlights back now.
Gloucestershire all but qualified for a place in the knockout stages of the Vitality Blast after giving Birmingham a blast lesson in Bristol. A 6th successive win secured with a margin of 50 runs. Batting first after winning the toss, Chris Dent and Miles Hammond did what they've been doing pretty much the whole campaign. Early boundaries from both setting the scene for the contest. Without taking any risks, this pair took 49 runs off the power play to lay the ideal foundation. And the pair continued on their merry way. No big hits on this occasion, but plenty of class as they took their opening partnership to 88 midway through the 12th over. It came as something of a surprise when Dent skied a shot off Jitan Patel, who completed the dismissal himself, the batsman on his way for 39. Hammond followed in the next over, holing out to Dom Sibley off Ollie Stone, who was bowling with real pace. Hammond gone for 49. With 5 overs of the innings remaining, Gloucestershire had got to 112 for 2 and needed a big finish. Not for the first time, that was provided by Ian Cobain, who with these 2 maximums went to the top of the 6 hitting charts in this season's tournament. The 16th over cost 17 runs, while the nets went for 15. Cobain again showing his skill and power with yet more maximums, taking his tally to 4 in this match and 19 overall in this season's blast. He fell trying to go big once more, and why not? But his 44 made off only 21 balls, gave his side the impetus they needed, and in the end put the game out of reach. Jack Taylor was out in the penultimate over for 7, bowled by Henry Brooks. Swiftly followed by James Bracey, who was taken behind, and George Scott, who was run out. A frantic end to the innings, which saw the Glossers finish on 173 for 6. And that proved to be way too many for the Bears once Graham Van Buren trapped Sibley in front in the first over of the reply. Rob Yates had made 15 when he cut David Payne to Scott at 24 for 2. Gloucestershire had already thrashed this opposition this summer and were well on their way to doing so again as Adam Hose picked out Higgins off the returning Matt Taylor. And when Will Rhodes was bowled by the brilliant Van Buren for a duck, the visitors were left reeling on 41 for 4 at the end of the power play. Van Buren's excellence was matched by his spin partner Tom Smith, his 4 overs costing only 18 and including the wicket of Michael Burgess for 17. Van Buren ended with figures of 3 for 33, bowling Tim Bresnan to leave the Bears on 83 for 6 after 12, the match already over. A 6th successive victory was then seen out as Brooks was held well by Van Buren off Matt Taylor, who then grabbed his 3rd wicket by removing Stone, Smith with the catch, which had the fat lady singing. Taylor took 3 for 29 as the Bears imploded. Jake Lintop was then run out, coming back for his 2nd. And Payne had Patel held off a miss-hit. It was fitting that the final catch was taken by Cobain, whose innings had really changed the game. The Bears were all out at the start of the 18th over for 123, and that gave the home team another win, this a hammering by 50 runs. Qualification is surely secured, but they'll not want to take their foot off the gas as they now head to Cardiff on Friday.
Hope you enjoyed highlights of that. Another tremendous performance from Jack Taylor's side. Contributions throughout. 3 wickets apiece for Matt Taylor, Graham Van Buren. The one change for today's game is that Matt Taylor actually steps out of the side and in comes Josh Shaw, if you're just joining us here. No Craig Overton for Somerset as well. That's the one change from their lineup, and a reminder that Somerset have won the toss and elected to bat first. So David Payne and Babar Azam will renew rivalries very shortly indeed. Can't wait to see that contest. It sparked into life at the Cooper Associates County Ground a couple of weeks ago. Payne getting his man after tying down one of the world's best batsmen. Let's see if Babar Azam can cut loose today. Certainly an exceptional talent. And there'll be lots watching on, I'm sure, with a Somerset persuasion, hoping he does. David Payne, I'm sure, will open up the bowling. 2 left armers used in Taylor and Payne in the last game, but no Matt Taylor, as I say. Josh Shaw coming into the side as a replacement bowler. We're just about 15 minutes away from the start of play. Lots more to build up to, but first I want to tell you about an amazing competition that we've got running. An opportunity to win one of 6 prizes, and I've had a sit down in the Thatcher's Bar, the new Thatcher's Bar at the Pavilion end, to tell you all about it. Take a look at this.
Welcome into the lovely new Thatcher's Bar here at the Bristol County Ground. Now, it's been an incredibly tough year for everyone involved in cricket, and so here at Gloucestershire County Cricket Club we are immensely grateful to all of our partners and sponsors for their continued support throughout 2020. You might have seen during this past week that we've been promoting our brand new Super Sunday 6 competition, and we've got 6 fantastic prizes on offer, all courtesy of our partners and sponsors. The prizes are as follows. Prize number 1 is 3 bottles of 7 Fathoms rum, that's provided by Cayman Islands. Prize number 2, this is courtesy of Thatcher's Cider. It is 6 bottles of Thatcher's Cider and then a £50 voucher for the lovely Railway Inn down at Sanford. Prize number 3 is a 150th anniversary merchandise pack, that's courtesy of Barkin and Kirby. Prize number 4 is a 4-ball at Long Ashton Golf Course, and that's kindly supplied by Hunter Selection. Bath Ales have kindly donated 6 cases of Bath Ales Gem for you to win. And prize number 6 is a £100 Amazon voucher, and that's all courtesy of Amber Energy, our sponsors there. So the competition is only open for UK mainland residents. You have to be over the age of 18 and you must enter by 11:59 tonight. So not long to get your entries in. All you have to do is answer one simple question in the video coming up, and the very best of luck to you.
Good luck, everyone. As I said, you've got until 11:59 p.m. tonight to enter our Super Sunday 6 competition. I think most Gloucestershire fans should know the answer straight away. It's been in scintillating form this season. Remember, only open this competition to those of you who are over 18 and you live in mainland UK. But yeah, some fantastic prizes, and we're immensely grateful, as I said, to all our partners and sponsors this year, and what has been obviously an incredible 2020. But we are set for cricket in 10 minutes' time. See a few Gloucestershire players ready to take to the field, sat in the dugout, away to my right-hand side, enjoying the last bits of sunshine. Wickets being prepared, the mowers making its way off the field. And we're not far away. So a reminder that Somerset have won the toss. Lewis Gregory called correctly. He's elected to bat first. He wants Gloucestershire to chase, which they've not been able to do in the 2 occasions they've been asked to in this summer's Vitality Blast. 1 change apiece. Matt Taylor stepping out of the side for Gloucestershire. Incoming Josh Shaw for his first appearance since the end of August last year. And Craig Overton has been rested for this game by Jason Kerr, the head coach at Somerset. Andy Hurrey's their director of cricket. So Craig Overton steps out. Of course, they've got a massive Bob Willis Trophy final to come later this week. And Josh Davey comes in. Now, Alex, one chief tormentor in Craig Overton, who took match figures of 9 for 51 in the Bob Willis Trophy against Gloucestershire last month, steps out. Big relief. In comes Josh Davey, who in that same match took match figures of 7 for 46. So it's fair to say that Somerset's bowling attack is one to fear.
Yeah, very much so. They swept all before them really in the Bob Willis Trophy. A high quality Somerset red ball attack. We knew that already really. And they proved it once again this summer, and blazing a trail really to the final. Bit of a different story in T20 cricket, but quite often we say this about batsmen. The same generally holds true for bowlers as well. If you're a good cricketer, you're a good cricketer. You can adapt your skills to different formats of the game, and I'm sure that's very much the case for Overton and Davey. But yeah, you mentioned that Bob Willis Trophy game. Managed to turn Somerset over down at Taunton in the return fixture last Sunday, and again I'd be thinking they've got something to prove here, Gloucestershire, because they were embarrassed in that game, no doubt about it. They fell with the bat twice, were bowled out extremely cheaply, did not give a great account of themselves at all, and were truly humbled by their local rivals. So they managed to find the T20 bragging rights last Sunday. Can they keep hold of them here this afternoon and potentially, well, they will knock out their local rivals as well if the Gloucesters can win this one here today.
Gloucestershire will be bowling shortly. Ryan Higgins leads the way with 13 scalps this season in the Blast. Slightly more expensive than perhaps he would like, going at 9.3. And you've got Tom Smith, who's got 12 wickets, an incredible average of just over 15, and an economy of under 6 and over, 5.87. Tom Smith, a huge weapon for Gloucestershire this season. David Payne and Graham Van Buren have contributed 10 and 9 wickets respectively. And then Matt Taylor, who's not playing today, as I mentioned, he's picked up 8. And Benny Howell has been a little bit quiet with the ball so far, just the 2 wickets. He was expensive down at Taunton in his comeback game, but of course he lit up the ground with an exceptional batting performance. Can he replicate that later? Gloucestershire know that they are in the quarter-finals. Quarter-finals take place on the 1st of October. All 4 of the games start at 6:30 p.m. Finals day is Saturday the 3rd of October at Edgbaston. There is a reserve day in between there, just in case this fine weather that we're enjoying at the moment goes away on that Wednesday.
Yeah, plenty of permutations this afternoon. Not really affecting the Gloucesters. They can affect their seeding. They'll definitely, almost certainly qualify as seed 1, 2 or 3, but that order obviously depends on if they can pick up a victory here and depending on the results elsewhere around the country. It's a day to keep an eye on all the scores. Notts, Durham and Lancashire, Leicestershire, the games to keep an eye out in the North group from a Gloucestershire point of view, and in the South group, Surrey-Kent match at the Oval will determine who wins the South group and determine where Gloucestershire finish in the seedings, in the rankings, in terms of who they'll play in the quarter-final. Very, very straightforward, very similar to the European rugby. Seed 1 plays seed 8, seed 2 plays seed 7, and so on. So in theory, the higher up you finish in the seedings, the easier the quarter-final you may get, but I doubt that's going to be the case really in this form of the game. Certainly this competition this year, when a lot of sides, a lot of similar points, be separated by very, very little, and whomever might come into Bristol in the quarter-final, assuming that Gloucestershire do enough to achieve that home quarter-final here today, it'll be a tough encounter.
I don't think our camera quite picked it up, but Ollie Sale, clearly a fan of Bruno Mars, the way he was shaking his hips as he walked over there with his Somerset teammates to take his place for a guard of honour. Now, the reason that the players are assembling like this is because Jeff Evans, who turned 66 last month, a Welshman, is making his way down the steps now. It's his final T20 game after a distinguished career, which he joined the ECB umpires list in 1999. And the ground staff to our left, and now the players join in with the applause, led out by Alfred the Gorilla. But he never thought that would happen when he joined the list in 1999, before T20 came out 4 years later. But a vastly experienced umpire, well liked on the circuit. Tom Jones playing as well, very appropriate. He must have requested it, yeah. From Llanelli is Jeff Evans. Delilah plays. Chris Fortune to my left-hand side is a close friend of a lot of the umpires. Was that requested by Jeff himself, Chris? Yeah. He's giving me the thumbs up, yeah. Very apt and a nice moment. Jeff Evans set to retire after a distinguished career as a professional umpire. We wish him well. And a lovely day to do it. A West Country derby in the Vitality Blast. Can't wait for this one. Gloucestershire top of the table against Somerset, 3rd in the division. Shake of the hands between the 2 umpires. Gloucestershire players gather in a huddle, and we're all about set to go. Here come the 2 Somerset opening batsmen. Babar Azam and Steve Davies. Left-hand, right-hand combination at the top of the order for Somerset. Davies, vastly experienced player now, former England international. Very classy left-handed operator, been in good form this season as well. And Babar Azam, who needs little introduction really, but just a glance at his stats. The lowest average in the 6 forms of the game he's played, so I'm talking T20 internationals, tests, one-day internationals, first-class cricket, list day cricket, T20 cricket, the lowest average he's got in any of those is 42.6.
Handy.
He is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, hasn't quite had it all his own way in the tournament so far, but did make a sparkling century at Cardiff, as Glamorgan really picked themselves up this week, but remains a high class player. Gloucestershire managed to get him out cheaply at Taunton last Sunday, and he remains a key wicket if they're going to go well here again today.
It'll be David Payne to open up for Gloucestershire from the pavilion end. First ball will be bowled to Steve Davies of Somerset. 150 T20 matches in his career. Impressive strike rate of over 141. Here we go then. The West Country Derby gets underway. Bang on line and length straight away from Payne. Usual field that you would expect. There's a third man and a deep square leg. Everyone else inside the circle, and there's a slip as well for these opening deliveries. Jack Taylor, the skipper, at mid-off. Carved away down to third man, just been one. And we're off and running in terms of scoring in this game. Babar Azam, 4 T20 centuries, including a career best 114 not out against Glamorgan recently. 39 half centuries in 146 innings for the 25-year-old. Payne did get him out though in the reverse fixture. What can he conjure up today? Starts with a wide.
Yeah, he's only actually faced 123 balls in the competition now, Babar Azam. Has not been in great touch, and it can happen to anybody, can't it? You can have all the record you like, but if you're not in nick, you're not in nick, and hasn't found a way to grind out scores so far in the tournament. The one innings, of course, at Glamorgan aside, but remains an exceptionally dangerous player.
A good delivery, just outside half of the bat there, almost the leading edge. Payne will get some in-swing early on. No slip for the right-handed Babar Azam. Third man just being brought up now. There's a change in the field. Cover goes out onto the boundary. Miles Hammond and Graham Van Buren comes up into the circle at third man. Attacking the stumps here, Payne. Speaking to Jack Taylor before the game, I said, what's the plan for Babar Azam? And he said, I know it sounds obvious, but just bowl good balls at him. Just like if you bowl good balls at him and he still clouts you around the ground, then he's got no complaints about that.
Yeah, very much so. I mentioned it before, you can often overcomplicate things in T20 cricket, but hit the top of the off stump, just make the batsman hit you off those lines.
Tucked away nicely. Just be a single though. Quiet opening over. A wide, 2 singles. 3 from it in total. Babar Azam will take strike for the next over. Somerset, after winning the toss, electing to bat first. 3 without loss here at the Bristol County Ground.
And what a day we have as well. Crystal clear blue skies. Absolutely tremendous day once again here in North Bristol. And those few spectators enjoying wonderful vistas off their balconies at the Ashley Down Road end of the ground. Parasols up there, a couple of cold beverages we can see have been unleashed already. Superb spot over there, looking into the sunshine. You've got the factor 30 on over there. I guess even though we're midway through or towards the end of September now, still very warm in the sunshine. Wide. Player like Azam just has that intimidation factor. Think about bowling to Ben Stokes in recent international cricket, just that intimidation factor that these players bring. A real challenge here for a very inexperienced T20 cricketer like Shaw. Has played the 6 T20s in his career so far. His only appearance for the Gloucesters in the shortest format back at Sussex last August. Getting his chance here in place of Matt Taylor. He hasn't had it his own way in the tournament at all so far, Taylor. His league runs at 9.8 and over so far.
Third man's just come up inside the circle. They put cover point on the boundary.
Clever batting. Soft
I'd
hands
say,
from Davis,
Alex,
dab and run.
I'd say, Alex, that good. We've had a couple of wides, but a good 70% of these deliveries have, I'd say maybe even more, will be hitting the stumps. It's good early discipline and a clear plan set.
Yeah, any player likes width, but particularly left-hander like Davis will try and feast on anything just wide of his off stump, and Azam too can whack anything away given the opportunity. Decent pace here from Shaw, zip through. Azam late on the pull stroke. Yeah, both men out square over Davis. Deep cover, deep square, both back. Deep square in the game. Can they get back for a second run? Not quite. Good scramble off the boundary across from us. And those boundary riders will stay the same for the right-hander. Deep point, deep square, both out. That's a clean strike. Got that away from mid-on. First real sign of intent, maybe a touch over pitched from Shaw. And Azam has thrown his hands through it and got plenty of it. Not perfectly timed. He takes that from, yeah, not a bad line at all, but the length, just full of a good length. Give him the chance to free his arms. That's nicely worked, and that will be 4 more. Shaw just going a little straight this time, getting turned away. Skips away from deep square. Little Hammond can do about it. And a couple of boundaries to end the second over. And Somerset with a steady start here, 16 without loss after 2.
It was a decent comeback over that from Josh Shaw up until that last ball, really. I don't think the penultimate ball was too bad. It's just a bit of shuffling across from Babar Azam and picked the gap pretty nicely on the onside, but that was loose, that last one, and player of his quality. And it's a pretty fast outfield here at Bristol. Too easy. David Payne to continue.
Yeah, it was being given a fresh trim just before the start of play here, this outfield.
If you want to get in touch with us, use the hashtag #GoGlos today on Twitter. I'll read some of them out later on. Beats the dive and away for 4. Deft shot that from Babar Azam, just used the pace of David Payne, who's normally in the mid-80s in terms of miles per hour. Just guided it away past the despairing dive of Josh Shaw, and a 3rd boundary for Babar Azam.
That's a good sign for Azam and Somerset, that type of shot. Just letting the ball come on, steering it away. Looked in full control there.
Payne wants Shaw very precisely nudging him left and right. Short 3rd man wants him exactly. And the quick single, and it's Taylor who misfields. Jack Taylor, skipper, will be disappointed with that. Babar Azam set off quickly. Short arm pull beats the dive. They'll come back for a second as Hammond throws in now. Agonisingly, Steve Davies is top scorer in T20 cricket, 99 not out. One of 16 half centuries in his career. Hit 45 against Northants in Somerset's last game. Comes into this with a bit of form. Yeah, that's an overstep, that's a no ball. Shy at the stumps, misses as well, so overstep from David Payne, looked like a slower delivery, and a free hit coming up, which Babar Azam is going to take strike for. Not what Gloucestershire fans will want to see.
Yeah, they can change the field here because the batsmen have crossed.
But we're still very much in the power play.
Yeah,
so
little tweak you can really do with only 2 allowed out, but it looks as if they're going to go 2 out on the leg side. Cover's going to come up, and the extra man on the leg side, mid-wicket's going back.
So we've got Tom Smith has moved out of mid-on and has run all the way over to the deep square leg boundary. Van Buren's there at deep mid-wicket cow corner, and everyone inside the ring on the offside. Here we go then, free hit for Babar Azam. Goes leg side and hits it straight to the fielder. Well bowled.
Crisis averted for Payne.
Benny Howell now, after fielding that, goes back into mid-wicket. Tom Smith comes back into mid-on. And Buren moves around at deep square leg. So the 2 boundary riders are at deep backward square and deep cover. Oh, that's close. An appeal from bowler and keeper. Interesting to see that one on the replay. The decision is not out. Jeff Evans in his final game deciding. Here comes the replay. Maybe just angling across a little bit too much. Didn't quite come back in. David Payne looked too disappointed. We've seen 1 or 2 where the Gloucestershire players this season have kind of stood aghast a decision, but not so on that occasion. 27 without loss after 3. We're midway through the power play overs. Somerset electing to bat. First have Babar Azam on 15 from 12 balls. Steve Davies a runnable 7.
Take a little across his stumps there, Azam, but always difficult for the left arm to get an LBW without too much movement, and these white balls don't tend to do too much. A steady start here for Somerset. Payne managing to drag the over back there. And immediately a change here at the Ashley Down Road end. The 1 over of Shaw. And now it's with the generally dependable Higgins for Gloucestershire. 13 wickets at 20 so far in the competition. County's leading wicket taker. 2 men back on the leg side here for Steve Davis. That's a sweet piece of timing, and even though 2 men are back on the leg side, it's beaten them both. Plenty of time there for Davis to rock back, and he was onto that in a hurry. The timing absolutely superb. The ball appearing to come onto the bat pretty nicely off this surface. No question so far of having to ground it out on a sticky Bristol dog. It came on nicely and nicely punched away. A familiar forearm jab from Steve Davis. Very gentle breeze just coming across the ground. It's a gorgeous day once again. Cornflower blue up ahead, as far as the eye can see. He's now round the wicket. Hasn't quite got all of this time, Davis. They will get a couple. Van Buren forced to go to his right from deep mid-wicket. Oh, that's steered away well, and this will be 4 more. It's just beaten the dive. And Davis finds the boundary once again. Just angled away, using the pace there of Higgins. Nice and full once again. Just missing his Yorker. And despite the dive from Cobain, all racing away for 4 more. So 37 without loss here in the 4th, and the Gloucester's under a bit of pressure all of a sudden. Oh, that's even better. Very, very sweet indeed from Steve Davis. And he's getting Somerset off to a flyer here at Bristol. Higgins again, not finding his Yorker. And that was a bit of a throwdown, it must be said. Just eased into it, Davis, staying a little leg side to create the angle. Perfect timing past extra cover. Shot of the day so far. Very orthodox. Very, very pretty from Steve Davis. So Somerset with a great start here. 41 without loss after 4. And a few questions here for Jack Taylor.
Yeah, Davies has suddenly put his foot down a bit, but he hasn't taken any big risks. Just classic cricket shot, that one. Beautiful. 41 without loss. Just an indication of Gloucestershire not quite hitting their straps at the moment. Is that Adrian Thomas has tweeted me, ever reliable Adrian, good afternoon to you. He points out in a second after Van Buren comes in. Should just be 1. And yep, I'll set off for 1. So Adrian says that against Glamorgan at Cardiff, Gloucestershire did not concede a single extra the first time in 193 Vitality Blast matches. And they've already conceded 5 today. A couple of wides, overstep from David Payne. I mean, that is remarkable the other night. They obviously lost the game, but no extras. It's not quite in their marks today. Scrambled single. Babar Azam is quick. Comfortably gets through. Good ball actually. Tossed up, but fielders slightly on their heels. Another single. In the air, and 1 bounce 4 into the commentary marquee to our right hand side. Ian Cobain couldn't quite get round. Again, not a slog, that's just a nice shot, going with the angle, left arm round the wicket. Very deliberately played. And a 1 bounce 4. Davies on to 26. Somerset coasting at 48 without loss. Ooh, not a great delivery, and this will be 4 more. Clatters into the board. That was pretty much a long hop. And the Somerset 50 is up in the 5th over. 52 without loss. Electing to bat first and going great guns. All wrong from Van Buren, that one, unlike him. extra fielder comes into the offside despite those 2 leg side shots. Oval toss. Dab to Miles Hammond. 1 run. Davis will keep strike for the final over of the power play. And questions for Jack Taylor to ponder at the moment. Davies 31 from 17, Babar Azam 17 from 14. 8 boundaries already so far after a fairly quiet sort of opening over and a half. Somerset have just played good cricket shots. Bowling's been a little bit erratic. And these 2 batsmen look well set. 53 without loss. Josh Shaw being given the ball again.
Yeah, final over the power play coming up, and Somerset have jumped out to a really, really bright start here. On a bright sunny day at Bristol. Led by Davis, this progress. Another sweet piece of timing, but this time finds the fieldsman on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Smith warming up here at short third man. Been superb throughout the competition so far. 12 wickets for him at 15s. Van Buren also in pressing throughout the tournament, but not in that opening over. The Gloucester's in need of a breakthrough here. And they've got one. Davis picking out the man in the deep. He'll be kicking himself. A back of a length ball, and he has pulled it straight to the fieldsman in the deep. Simple catch, and a wicket that Gloucestershire badly needed to stem the flow of runs that have come rather too easily in the opening 5 overs. But Shaw has his wicket. Davis has gone for 31, and Somerset lose their first. 53 for 1 in the 6th.
Yeah, just looking at the replay just then, it was might well have been an off-cutter, dragged slightly by Davies, who's been timing the ball nicely, and Ryan Higgins, safe pair of hands on the leg side boundary, does the rest. And Davies has to go for a nice little 31. But Gloucestershire, just one of those sides, are so well oiled by Richard Dawson that you can never count them out. They will fight back. They're a tenacious outfit. And Josh Shaw coming back into the side, that'll do his confidence a lot of good. A dot and then a first wicket. It's Will Smead, the new man, who announced himself in this fixture a few weeks ago when the sides met down in Taunton. 82 from 49 balls. It's been sort of win or bust for him, really, because he hit that 82, but just 7 runs in his 3 other innings so far.
Yes, that's the only innings that he's really got going in so far, but clearly a player with plenty of ability. Can he roll this excellent start forward? That's sure, and Gloucestershire will be hoping that they can put the brakes on this very, very lively start.
I remember him scoring a century for the second 11 when he was 16, and he was batting alongside Marcus Trescothick, who also scored a century at the age of 42. And big things expected of him. Yeah. Scores prolifically for Bridgewater.
18-year-old lad with the England under-19s over the winter. Should have been taken in the 50s. It was put down, I think, by Cobain coming in from long on last Sunday. Gloucestershire gave him a chance to extend his fun, and he certainly enjoyed himself. Struck the ball very cleanly indeed, and kept that game alive for a long time. It looked as if Gloucestershire were going to close it out by a long chalk, but Somerset did well, largely thanks to Smead, to extend the afternoon for as long as it did. Sure, attacking the stumps here, but vital that Smead isn't given an easy start.
Shows you what a wicket in the power play can do, though, doesn't it? Just pegged back here, Somerset. They were flying at the start of this over. No runs and a wicket.
Yeah, an over that Gloucestershire needed. Can Shaw finish it off here? Not quite. Just slides down the leg side. But coming in with some decent pace here, Shaw. Bracey taking that head height Ball going through nicely. Seen the ball come onto the bat quite well so far. And now Shaw does get out of his over, so an excellent final over of the power play for Gloucestershire. Just a wide from it and the wicket of Davis, but Somerset still with a decent start, having won the toss. 54 for 1 they've made in the power play.
Good news keeps coming for Gloucestershire, because Birmingham Bears at Edgbaston are 26 for 4 against Northamptonshire.
Goodness. Yeah, that's a game that Northants have to win to stand a chance of going through. And if the Bears were to lose there, then they would be in a spot of bother on 11 points, because their net run rate, largely thanks to 2 hefty defeats against Gloucestershire, is appalling. Comfortably the worst of any of the teams in and around that 11-point mark, and defeat will be very, very difficult for the Bears to qualify.
Tom Smith into the attack from the pavilion end. Fielding restrictions relaxed. Now we're out of the power play overs.
Even with a Bears win and a Gloucestershire defeat, it would still be extremely unlikely that they could turn around that net run rate deficit. As Gloucestershire have the second best in the competition at the start of the day. The Northants have really, really stumbled. They've lost 4 fixtures in succession, having won 4 on the spin in the first half of the competition. They need to win the day to go through.
Quicker delivery from Smith, who'll relish this contest. He's playing against premier players in world cricket. Smith, so difficult to get away. Chris Dent doing the fielding there. Is another half century for him the other night, 3 in his last 5 games. That's well bowled, no space to wriggle out of. Typical opening Tom Smith over, just 4 from it. 58 for 1 after 7. And just pulling this back well here, Gloucestershire, after Somerset made just a very fluent start, opening 5 overs, but then Josh Shaw picking up the wicket of Steve Davies. Has just pegged them back a little bit. Will Smead finding his feet, and Babar Azam content just to go at his own pace at the moment. Change of bowling from the pavilion end. It's going to be Benny Howell, who in his comeback game against Somerset obviously went brilliantly with the bat, but was expensive with the ball. Let's see how he gets on today in the bright sunshine here in Bristol.
Yeah, like 58 from his 4 overs in his comeback, Howell. A little expensive on Friday night as well at Cardiff. 4 overs, 1 for 37. Can his boxer tricks do some damage here today? Renewing his battle with Smead. Pair of right-handers now. He's got that man at deep point and deep backward square. He's actually being pulled up into the 30-yard circle. Third man is back. Long on and deep mid-wicket, now a deep square as well. So short third man, backward point, extra cover, and a mid off the field here for Benny Howell. Generally more change-ups and off-pace deliveries than regular speed balls from Benny Howell. But he did not get it right at Taunton, and Smead was picking him up over the leg side. He's got this man up in the circle on the onside now for Smeed. And deep backward square goes back. It's wider than a conventional long leg. Still deep mid-wicket and long on out on the leg side, but this man here at mid-wicket now for Smeed. Still got the mid-off extra cover and backward point, then a deep cover and third man. Bristol turned away for a single down the ground. Plenty of shades out there for the Gloucestershire fieldsman. Sun shining brightly once again at Bristol. Push for two here, Baba. The call is straight away to a bit of a mix-up. Smeed's got to get himself back. Oh, goodness me. A better throw there, perhaps. A direct hit may have seen Smeed struggling. Keen to come back for two to keep Barber on strike, but Barber was sending his young partner back. And maybe a better throw. May have had Smeed struggling at the striker's end. Just a single though, good stuff here from Howell in the 8th over. Another change in the field. With a conventional deep square now going out and that man at mid-wicket back round at short fine leg. So plenty of space on this onside for them to try and push and nudge for two. Smeed can only find backward points. So a superb set there for Benny Howell. An excellent over, just 4 from it, and after 5 overs of real pressure at the start of the game, Gloucestershire dragged things back quite well, but Somerset still well placed, 62 for 1 after 8, and a game that the visitors need to win to try and find the back door into the quarter-finals.
Just 8 runs in the last 2 overs. Tom Smith to continue. From wide on the crease there, and Babar Azam came down the wicket. Saw him coming. Good bit of cricket that. Smith, the wily old fox, seeing Babar Azam coming and slinging that one in quickly. Oh, just inside edge there. Bracey will get to it, but Smeed called Babar Azam through. No run-out scare on that occasion. James Bracey, who's not taken a catch in this season's Vitality Blast, but he's got 5 stumpings. Glove work's been excellent this season. Getting balled from quite wide on the crease, slapped down to long on.
Yeah, he
by Cobain.
Uses all the tools, doesn't he, Smith? Varying his pace and flight and using the crease as well. It's just subtle changes. Plenty of confidence about his bowling so far.
Round arm this time. There's a chance of 2. Yep, they're coming back. It should be pretty comfortable. And Buren picking up in the onside. Nicely weighted by Babar Azam. 66 for 1. Pakistan International has 24. Smeed has 5. Swept hard and away for 4, I think. Yeah, over the rope it goes. Over towards the old Space Engineering Services stand. Nice shot that. Babar Azam. Conventional sweep. Van Buren quite square there. And, had no chance.
Yeah, poor line from Smith, bit of a free hit.
Call is 2. He'll comfortably get back. Cobain had a lot of ground to make up towards his right hand side at long on. Better over for Somerset. A swept boundary from Babar Azam. And 10 runs from it. 72 for 1. Smead has 5. Babar Azam has 30. 1 wicket to fall. Steve Davies caught off cutter from Josh Shaw. Banged in a bit short and he pulled it out to Ryan Higgins. Took a comfortable catch. But that's the only breakthrough so far. Somerset pretty content, I imagine, with their afternoon's work so far.
Yeah, building nicely here. Barber still at the crease and showing some decent touch so far. Howell again it'll be from the Ashley Down road end. Oh, high. Man going back at mid-off. Should be out. And is. So no young heroics from Will Smead here this afternoon. Can't replicate the damage he did at Taunton last Sunday. And Benny Howell picks up a second wicket for Gloucestershire. Smead looking to go up and over mid-off. Nowhere near the connection. And a comfortable catch in the end. So Smead's gone, another failure for him. One standout innings in the tournament, but hasn't been able to get much else going. And Somerset 72 for 2 at the start of the 10th over.
Yeah, didn't get going, did he? No boundaries, looking for one on that occasion. Mid-off was up, so it was a legitimate shot, but yeah, miscued, and he goes for 5. It was his 12th ball he faced as well, so just got a bit stuck there. And Tom Abel, the skipper, in their 4-day games. Somerset is walking to the middle. It's Lewis Gregory, of course, in limited overs, but Tom Abel, very safe pair of hands coming in at number 4.
Yep, gone well in the tournament so far. Somerset's leading run scorer, 224 at 37 he's put up. A couple of 50s in there. So there's a crucial partnership here for Somerset to take them through this middle part of the innings. And Barber still remains a kingpin. No chance for 2 here, too close to Dent running away from long on. Affected 2 run-outs, did Chris Dent last Sunday. The ground fielding was again excellent down at Taunton. Did put down a couple of chances. By and large, Gloucestershire's out cricket has been pretty good throughout the competition so far. Trying to drag this back here after Somerset's bright start. Able to face his first ball, fellow right-hander. Should just be one down to long leg. Oh, Abel's coming back. Confusion. And gets himself up the non-striker's end in time. He was caught all the way down the pitch there, Tom Abel, but Barber sensibly sending him back. Never a second available. Van Buren was on the scene much too quickly off the long leg fence. Wristy from Barber, just be one though. To hammer it deep mid wicket. Somerset will want Barber there as deep as possible into the innings with all his hitting ability. I'm sure the plan from ball 1 in this competition would be to try and bat around the Pakistani international. It hasn't quite happened for them. Oh, big shout, big shout. And they will get an overthrow here, actually. Throw from backward point was wild. Big shout for LBW. Benny Howell can't quite believe it. Already had one close LBW turn down today. Whoa, that looks good. Very tight, was it? Just squeezing down the leg. Very, very tight. Barber back on strike and works away another single. So a good set from Benny Howell. Found the wicket of Will Smead. Very, very close as well to the wicket of Tom Abel.
Yeah, Alex Walth with the decision at that end. Certainly a replay, as you say, I think very, very tight is the right description.
Can only have thought, Alex Walth, that it was sliding down leg. But it hit so low on the pad. Didn't have far to travel at all, the ball.
Babarazam getting a change of gloves. It's George Bartlett there with the mask on, I think.
Now the Bears have picked that difficult start up a little bit. 64 for 4 they are in the 9th in that game against Northampton Edgbaston.
Midway through this innings, 77 for 2, make that 78 for 2. Abel takes guard after surviving that Benny Howell LBW appeal. Cobain is fast, just the one. In the air and well taken. Just sliced, really. A comfortable catch for Jack Taylor. Abel using his feet, and again I think Tom Smith saw him coming. See the replay now. It's a sliced effort. He was looking towards the sort of cover point boundary, and in the end it was caught at a sort of short third man, quite wide there. Jack Taylor, good positioning from him. Skipper takes the catch, dismisses Tom Abel. Somerset 3 down, 80 on the board. Abel just made 3.
Yeah, slightly naive cricket there from Tom Abel. He got Baba going well at one end, just looking to rebuild after that second wicket went down, and it's a bit of a soft dismissal in the end, shuffling down to, at best, there was no real intent about the stroke. It was just looking to bunt it down the ground, I think, for a single, and has sliced it away and got himself caught. So the Gloucester's right back in the innings here after that very difficult start. And Somerset, as they did at Taunton last Sunday, are probably 1 wicket more down than they would like at this stage, really. But with Baba there, they'll be confident of getting something going, and some hitters to come down the order as well. One of them coming out here in Lewis Gregory, the one-day skipper. Lammonby down the order as well, can hit a long ball too, as we saw last Sunday.
Gregory's not batted in the last couple of games. To make up for lost time here at Smith.
It may just be a promotion here for Lewis Gregory. Just looking back at the card last Sunday, he was at 6 actually. Place fewer down today. No George Bartlett in the side for Somerset today.
Babarazam just dealing in singles at the moment. Keeps the scoreboard moving though. He'll look to be there at the end.
Yeah, Baba's hand slightly forced by the wickets that have fallen around him. Knows that he needs, like I say, to be there deep into the innings, and can afford to just run the bowling around a bit. But the Gloucesters have managed to run through a couple of cheap ones here and have dragged this back very nicely. Go back to Van Buren again from the Ashley Down Road end. His first over from the pavilion end was expensive. He's got Baba on strike on 36. A bit of a drag down, but gets away with it with 3 out on the leg side. Just a single to begin the 12th over. Field will stay the same here for Gregory. So long on, long off, deep mid wicket, deep square and deep cover the man out. Extra cover, backward point, short third man, short fine leg. The field here for Van Buren's left arm spin. 9 wickets, 17 from him in the competition so far. And sweetly timed. Chase around the cover fence, and the fieldsman doesn't get there. So Gregory's first boundary. Very, very sweet piece of timing this. A little over pitched from Van Buren. And again, a sign of a pretty good wicket here, I fancy. Just able to punch through the line of that one. And the outfield an excellent nick too. Useful boundary for Somerset just to pep them up after a couple of cheap ones. And a good comeback from Van Buren. Just hasn't found that length enough so far. And the 9 deliveries he's sent down. Fires on through a bit quicker. Just be a single down to long on. Babar eyes up the leg side. The shorter side of the ground here. Fired in. Nicely bowled from Van Buren. Just trickle away out to the edge of the 30-yard circle. No damage done. And just a single more out to deep cover to end the over. So the boundary from it makes it a steady set for Somerset. 8 from the over. 12 gone. 90 for 3 here in a game that Somerset have to win to have a chance of going through to the quarter-final. And eyes on Edgbaston as well. The game between the Bears and Northants. 76 for 4 the Bears there in the 11th over. I think won the toss and chose to bat.
Smith into his final over, 1 for 19. Typically metronomic from Tom Smith. He just moved the fielder who's out there, Miles Hammond, slightly squarer at deep mid-wicket. I don't think it would have made a difference because it was hit so crisply by Babar Azam. He just had a glance at the leg side field before he struck this away and just, yeah, pierced the gap beautifully. 4 runs. Babar Azam into the 40s. Chip back to Tom Smith. What a wicket that is. What a wicket that is. A 4 and then just almost a leading edge spooned back into the grateful hands of Tom Smith. 2 wickets for him, and it's the big one this time. It's Babar Azam goes for 42. Just a little looper back to Smith, who gets his man. Typically understated reaction from Smith, but a big wicket nonetheless. 95 for 4. Babar Azam, career best century against Glamorgan just recently. This time he makes 42. Looked good out there, but he has to go. And Somerset in a spot of bother now. 95 for 4. Having said that, Tom Lammonby's the new batsman, and he's been hitting, seeing the ball very nicely so far. He's hit a couple of centuries in the Bob Willis Trophy. This is his debut campaign, Tom Lammonby. The one against Worcestershire was something a bit special by all accounts in a game that was heavily dominated by the ball. And then, of course, he hit a century against Gloucestershire in the Bob Willis Trophy as well. But he's not a bad T20 player either. Exceptional strike rate of over 191 this summer. He's hit 9 sixes in the 61 balls he's faced so far. He's facing Tom Smith now.
Yeah, found some long balls last Sunday at Taunton against Gloucestershire, Lammonby. And that 100 in the Bob Willis Trophy against Worcestershire was, by all accounts, a really high-class affair.
Well bowled by Smith. Just pushed it through, no turn. Lammonby looking to get on with things. There's 7 overs remaining at the end of this one. Final delivery of Tom Smith's spell then, 2 for 24. ends on a low full toss. They run the first one quickly, and then it's Lewis Gregory who sends Tom Lammonby back, and that's the end of Tom Smith's spell. An excellent one. 2 for 25 finishes up, and again just the go-to player really for Gloucestershire with the ball. You can always rely on him, and today picking up the wickets of Tom Abel, caught with a sliced lofted drive by Captain Taylor, and then that wicket in the over, the big one. Babar Azam gone for 42 from 35 balls. It had 5 fours in it in his innings, and this game very much in the balance. Somerset 96 for 4, 7 overs remaining after Lewis Gregory opted to bat first. He's at the crease with Tom Lammonby set to face.
Yeah, a huge wicket there of Babar Azam. Gloucestershire thought they might have had him very cheaply with that LBW shout for David Payne in the early exchanges, but not too much damage from a star overseas player. And now a chance to really squeeze Somerset in these closing stages. Last 5 overs, 33 for 3 for Somerset. Stalled somewhat as Howell from the far end have to hurry. Well judged in the end. Just wide enough of dent at mid-off for a single to begin the 14th. 54 for 1 in the power play. Somerset were motoring along, building a dangerous position. 53 for 0 after 5, in fact, before Shaw found an excellent last over of the power play. Since then, the Gloucesters have got themselves going in the field. Right-left combination out there again for Somerset. Howell's got long on back, deep mid-wicket and long leg. Third man and deep cover. Other fieldsman outside the 30-yard circle. Pace off. Just worked for a single down towards the flats, where plenty of people out on their balconies, and why not on a day like today? Glass of something cool and a seat up there that you could sell for a few bob. It's going to be a single, too close to deep square. Cover, I beg your pardon. For the right-hander, Gregory into double figures and brings the 100 up for Somerset in the 14th over. But it has been a struggle in the last 5 overs or so. Impressive comeback here for Gloucestershire in the field. Dab leg side, they'll try and push for 2. Lammonby was keen, Gregory wasn't. Good call. Good scramble off the long on fence. So a decent set building again here for the Gloucesters. Just singles from the 14th over so far. And Howell at the minute back to his best. 1 over after this available to him. And much more like the Benny Howell we know here today so far. It'll just be a single to end the over, so 6 singles from the 14th, and the Gloucestershire comeback here continues. 14 gone, 102 for 4, Somerset having decided to bat first, and again they need to win. After that great start from Davis and Azam, slightly careless dismissals of Smeed and Abel in particular, and then the big wicket of Azam going down. I've seen Gloucestershire come roaring back into this innings in a game that, if they win, will ensure that they claim a home quarter-final. Very likely, even with defeat, that Gloucestershire will also win the Central Group. Particularly if the Bears lose to Northants at Edgbaston. They're 95 for 4, they're after 12, the Bears.
Van Buren from the pavilion end. Should just be a single. Misfield there. Throw in now at the bowler's end. And 2 runs to Gregory. So 5.5 overs remaining. What can Somerset get from here? Par on this ground is normally around sort of 170. You can get to 170, you're well in the game. Although Glamorgan defended 150 here, but that was earlier in the summer.
Yeah, since that Glamorgan game, the 2 games since, the Gloucester's put up 181 against Worcestershire and 173 against the Bears.
Switch hit, top edged. Oh, that's a good catch from Miles Hammond. I thought it was going straight down his throat, and then very nearly went over his head. He had to take a step back, get his balance, and clung on fantastically. And that is a big wicket, because Tom Lammonby's been in fine form, and he hit that pretty well. Very well judged at the end from Miles Hammond. He'll be slightly relieved, but a good catch. 105 for 5. Lammonby goes for 4.
Well, my instinct was, like you, Rob, straight down his throat, and then the way Hammond was arching his back, I thought it was going to fly away for 6, but Lammonby hitting into the breeze. Breeze coming just about across the ground, it looks like, with the flag on the offices to our right-hand side. And that maybe just helped the ball up enough for Hammond to take that catch. But a big wicket, and the Gloucester strike again. And they really have dragged this innings back very nicely. Suddenly Somerset 5 down with plenty of time to go in the innings.
Roelof van der Merwe is the new batsman, 35 years of age now, former South African international. He's hit 110 runs from 60 balls so far in the Vitality Blast campaign. Strike rate of 183, so the firepower keeps coming. Van Buren will be well aware of that. Gloucester have done well here because they've just sort of played it at their own pace these last few overs, just slowed the tempo down slightly. I'm mindful of the cut-off time. It says 2:17 on the scoreboard over on the far side. Should be okay. Remember, I think it was last summer Gloucestershire falling foul of that. Incurred some penalty runs and it cost them.
It happened in a game here against Somerset once, quite a few years ago now. But the 5 penalty runs helped Somerset chase down a score. Had 5 penalty runs the other day at Notts for illegal fielding. First time that I've known that law been enacted on the field.
Smith with a throw, but Gregory through for that single. Better over from Van Buren, been slightly expensive prior to that. At the end of his 3rd, he's picked up the wicket of Tom Lammonby. See the card there. 3 batsmen getting into double figures. Gregory's still there at the moment. It's a big job for the Somerset skipper if he's to get his side into the quarter-finals. Remember, Somerset really need a win today in this final game. Defeat takes it completely out of their hands, and more than likely that will be the end of the road for them. So a victory pretty much imperative here against the old adversaries.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a win or bust for Somerset. Had such a slow start to the campaign. I've dragged things back nicely in the last week or so, but last chip, last chance here today. As Howell finishes off from the Ashley Down Road end. Much more like the Benny Howe that's been so successful for Gloucestershire in the last few seasons here today. Expensive in his first couple of outings. after that long injury layoff. He made his return at Taunton last Sunday, having previously played last August at the Oval before hamstring and calf problems kept him out for a while. But a key member of this white ball outfit and gone very well here today. Just got his line wrong there though, and that's whipped away nicely by Gregory. Fine leg up inside the circle. Any little touch to help it on its way up over the fieldsman's head.
This will be Benny Howell's last, and there's 4 overs remaining. Payne and Shaw have both got 2 left if necessary. Ryan Higgins has only bowled 1, went for 14 though, and then Van Buren's got 1 over left, so Jack Taylor's got a few options up his sleeve.
Yeah, I think they probably will try and sneak another of Van Buren in. Will be my bet. Payne's been accustomed to bowling at the death. Higgins likewise. Be a lot to ask of Shaw with his limited experience to come and bowl at the death. Just going to land short of mid-wicket. Firmly struck.
Haven't seen many runs down the ground, have we? There's been a lot through mid-wicket and down the leg side, but we haven't seen much straight. Indicates it's a slower pitch.
Clever stuff from Howell. Excellent length that.
Which is no great surprise, as I mentioned earlier. Lewis Gregory knows that that's generally what you get at Bristol. It's not the same pitch as you would get at Taunton.
Yeah, those early signs suggested it was coming on quite well, but you're right about the point that not much hitting through the line so far. One attempt from Smead ended in his wicket. This is touched away. Howell's after it. They'll try for 2 and they will get back. Neat little touch from Van der Merwe. And a couple to finish the 16th over. Better over for Somerset with the boundary, but that's a pretty good set from Benny Howell. Has been at his best in a couple of starts on his return, but much more like it today. And a good set. And with 4 overs to go, Somerset just struggling now. 115 for 5. After that blazing start, 53 without loss after 5 overs they were. But since then, wickets have fallen regularly. And the big wicket of Babar Azam has really dragged things back for Gloucestershire and ensured that Somerset don't have too much to work with in these closing stages, albeit that Gregory and Van der Merwe here hold plenty of hitting ability.
Here's Van Buren. It was definitely Gloucestershire's 5 overs spell that. They took 3 for 30 in those 5 overs. Between 10 and 15. Has gone down the ground. It looks big and goes all the way for 6. Jeff Evans in his final game, stretching his arms aloft, pointing to the bright blue sky here at Bristol. Barely a cloud in it. Gentle breeze, but not anything distracting. People with shorts on the balcony, sunglasses, sun hats. That ball went a long way. Van der Merwe into double figures. Somerset 1-2-2 for 5. And the call was to look at for 2, but they decided against it wisely. Chris Dent doing the fielding. He's thinking about what he can do with the bat shortly. What will they be chasing? What can Somerset get to? Is 170 still on? That's very good fielding. Fast. Sharp work from Miles Hammond, who took that very good catch of Tom Lammonby. Takes a hand off the handle. They're not in control of that, but it just crawls out to Chris Dent. And that's Graham Van Buren's spell finished. Finishes with figures of 1 for 35. There is the Gloucestershire card. Tom Smith the pick, 2 for 25, but Benny Howell also excellent, 1 for 23. Just squeezing the life out of Somerset during those middle overs. There's 3 remaining, so 18 balls, 125 for 5. Gregory the captain 22. Van der Merwe has 12. Back to a bit of pace. David Payne has switched ends. He's going to bowl from the Ashley Down road end.
Meanwhile, the Bears dragging things back very nicely at Edgbaston. Adam Hose is smashing them back into the contest. 4 sixes for he there. Got himself past 50. And the Bears, having struggled early on, now 129 for 4 against Northants. Northants have to win. The Bears could do with a win. Could still qualify if they lose the Bears, but their net run rate is so poor that if they are stuck on 11 points, it may not be enough to get them through. A Northants win would take them above the Bears on net run rate, and the Bears would be looking for a best third place spot. But of course, Somerset very much in the equation as well. But what can they post here? Payne has got everybody back on the leg side. Long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square and long leg. Deep cover is out. Then mid-off, extra cover, backward point, and short third man in the ring on the offside. So he's going to be very straight here, David Payne, needs to be. Turned away, they're going to charge back for the second run, they are. It's good running, just got it far enough away from the deep mid-wicket fieldsman to come back for a second run. Just a reminder there from Alex Wharf to Van der Merwe to make sure he's running off the pitch. But just brewing a little something here, Somerset, with this pair. Well bowled. Can they get 2 again? Not this time. Now for Gregory, there is going to be a change. Payne is going to bring up both long leg and deep square. Long off and third man being pushed back. So more of a split field now for the captain Gregory. Got himself to 22, the Somerset captain. And Payne is going to go over the wicket as well. But he cannot afford to be too straight here with square leg and long leg both up inside the circle. You'd imagine he's going to go across Gregory here. And he's been swung down the ground to great effect. Big strike from Gregory. Over the side screen for a maximum. Just wasn't quite as sure that the plan was there for David Payne with that split field going over the wicket. Trying to push it across the right-hander. But did offer, yeah, just a bit of width. Knowing that he couldn't afford to be too straight with those fieldsmen up on the leg side square. Can't afford to allow Gregory anything to whip away on the leg side, so it was always going to go across the right-hander from that angle, and as a consequence offering Gregory space outside the off stump to free his hands. That was a great strike from Gregory. Oh, gone again, over extra cover this time. Not quite all the way for 6. Payne under some pressure all of a sudden. It was a low full toss. Decent timing from Gregory. Just opened the blade to ensure it was well away from long off. Width again from Payne. Again, a bit of a free hit for Gregory, and it is going to force the change of tactics.
Yeah, it hasn't worked that, has it? I mean, Gregory's moved across his stumps. He's seen the plan coming.
Yeah.
And
it was just a little telegraphed with both men up on the leg side square up in the circle, but they've both gone back now, long leg and deep square. Third man and mid-off have come up, so the same plan here to Gregory as it was for Van der Merwe earlier in the over, and Payne is back round the wicket. Getting pulled away, but safety back on that leg side fence, so just a single this time. Yeah, just like this plan a lot more from David Payne. Can bowl from round the wicket at the stumps, cramp any angle, knowing that if he is swung leg side, there's plenty of protection out there. Just a little bit safer this plan. But the damage done in the over so far, a really good one for Somerset. Their best for some time, and much needed over for the visitors. Gets his Yorker in, and a single will end the 18th over, but it's been an expensive set that from David Payne to just pep the Somerset innings up. 12 balls to go, and they're now back in a position to try and post 170 maybe. 1 for 1 for 5 with 12 balls to go.
16 from that David Payne over. There's a wide in there as well. You'll be disappointed with that. Ryan Higgins has only bowled 1 over in this match, and it was pretty expensive as well. However, he is normally Mr. Consistent for Gloucestershire. Going into this game with 13 scalps, the most of any Gloucestershire player. But his 1 over earlier went for 14, 3 boundaries in it. What can he conjure up now? He's going to be able to rule off Van der Merwe. Starts with a slower ball. Just been 1. Another slower ball held back. Miscue, but it means they can come out for the second. There's a slight stumble from Gregory, but then a misfield from Miles Hammond.
Yeah, it could be
untidy all round.
Could have been interesting that actually, with a clean pick up and throw to the striker's end, because like you say, Gregory did just stumble. Really crucial period of the game here. Can Somerset take a bit of momentum into the second innings? Really struggle in that period from overs 5 to 15. Watch the spin. Oof.
Yeah, it was well fielded in the end. He'll come back for 2. Very nearly wrong-footed Graham Van Buren, who then leapt to his left and prevented further damage. Gregory motoring though, 37 not out. Somerset closing in on 150. Midway through the penultimate over. Not timed beautifully, but it's into a gap. I'll come back for the second. Gregory hands on his knees. He looks that's just tiredness, or he's just
done a fair bit of running all of a sudden in the last 3 or 4 overs. But a good partnership this for Somerset, badly needed.
An extravagant shot and 1 bounce into the marquee where we are. We're not allowed to touch it with our hands, so Nice bit of footwork there from Neil Prescott. Van der Merwe is capable of that. He's sort of it's a bit like a hockey player. Happy to improvise slightly, throw the hands, almost helicopter style. Generates some power, and that brings up the Somerset 150. End of the 19th, 153 for 5. So 170 still possible, but...
Yeah, another very good set there for Somerset, and Lewis Gregory, the captain, playing an excellent hand here to revive this innings, because they were really floundering, the visitors, and again they have to win.
You mentioned the partnership, Alex. It's now worth 48. It's their second highest in this match. The opening pair, Steve Davies and Babrazan, put on 53 for the first.
Yeah, 105 for 5 Somerset were in the 15th over, and at that stage they were limping their way towards 150, but this pair has got the innings back on course. And talking of back on course, the Bears are producing something outstanding at Edgbaston. Adam Hose has gone to a 54-ball century with 6 sixes there to transform that innings. Payne with the last here. Oh, that's high, it's huge! Out towards the tennis courts. Watch the cars. Mighty strike from Lewis Gregory, and he goes to a half century. What a heave this is. Offered length from David Payne, and he goes up and over the shorter boundary out towards Kennington Avenue. Has got plenty of that. Mighty strike from Lewis Gregory. What a gem of an innings this is here.
26 balls, 4 fours, 2 sixes.
Splendid hitting. But just going back to the Bears, they were 20 for 4 in the 4th over, and they're now 165 for 4 after 17. A quite remarkable partnership there that Somerset in particular will have a keen eye on. But their own task ahead of them here, and Gregory getting them back into the game. Oh, it's a nice touch, but a good catch. Really smartly held on the edge of the 30-yard circle, and Gregory's final innings comes to an end. It was a neat little touch around the corner. An airy to target with third man up inside the circle, but it's picked the fieldsman out, and it's a really good catch diving forward.
Yeah, Josh Shaw with the safe pair of hands. Obviously it was premeditated, but he timed it probably how he would have wished.
He did, yeah. Yeah, neat little deflection using the pace of Payne. But
that was his fifth career half century in T20 cricket, Lewis Gregory. Of course, he's played 8 T20s for England. Well, he hasn't had much of a go with the bat. He's only hit 35 runs in England colours and just the 1 wicket, but he's played an important hand as skipper for his side today. And he's that was a huge 6 the ball before. Latest one he tried to improvise, but Josh Shaw held on well at short third man. So Ollie Sale, with the long hair under his maroon Somerset helmet, the new batsman.
So Payne with the wicket, and can he finish his innings off? 4 balls to go. Gets the Yorker in, squirted away. I think they'll give Van der Merwe the strike. Well, they know. Chance to come back for the second, so they'll take the runs. Just forced between deep square and long leg. But that innings from Gregory has given Somerset every chance, regardless of how these remaining 3 deliveries pan out. Giving them a score to bowl at. Very good from David Payne. Right up in the block hole. Perfect delivery to the new man. Yeah, he's doing his best Axl Rose impersonation with this hairstyle, isn't he, Ollie Sale? Sports a headband as well in the field. You need to with all that hair. Keep it out your eyes. That's a good bumper. Quick bumper as well. Sail late on it, swing and a miss. But a safe delivery with the 2 men out on the leg side. Has lost his plan a bit in the previous over to Lewis Gregory. This is a much better field. Round the wicket, can target the stumps. Protection on the leg side. Oh, this will be a run out. Yep, easily done from Payne. Excellent, excellent stuff. And that finishes the innings off very nicely for Gloucestershire. 6 from the opening delivery of the final over, but only 2 more runs from the final 5 balls. So what could have been a damaging final set has been dragged back nicely from Payne, and in the final reckoning that could prove crucial. So 1-6-1 for 7 Somerset have posted, having won the toss. After the first 5 overs, 53 without loss they were. Off to a fantastic start before the innings was really dragged back. 105 for 5 in the 15th. Looked as if Somerset were going to fall well short, but that innings from Lewis Gregory. 50 from 28 balls he made. That's given Somerset something to bowl at in a game they must win. They don't have a good record here at Bristol. Haven't won here since 2015. And Gloucestershire, during that period, have chased very successfully as well. Haven't won, though, chasing yet in the competition. The 6 victories have all come defending scores. Failed chasing scores twice, both to Glamorgan. Can they put that right here today to ensure they take some good momentum into the quarter-finals? 1-6-2 they had to chase.
Somerset accumulated 54 runs for loss of a couple of wickets in that final 5. At the end of the power play, they were 54 for 1. Midway through, they were 77 for 2. Then they got pegged back to 107 for 5, squeezed by Tom Smith and Benny Howell in particular. Closed on 161 for 7. It means that Gloucestershire's required run rate will be 8.1 runs per over. Sun continues to shine here. Somerset fielders are already out doing some warm-ups with their head coach Jason Kerr. Marcus Trescothick, part of the coaching staff as well. I think he's out there. Baseball mitt in one hand, bat in the other. Some fielding work with Tom Lammonby, amongst others. So yeah, an interesting total from Somerset. So it's just maybe slightly below par, but it's, you know, it's about the average, 161 for 7. Okay, they'll take it, but then they won't be absolutely thrilled with it. Just the 1/2 century. Lewis Gregory making 50 from 28 balls, 4 fours and 2 sixes. Babrazan made 42 before he chipped a catch back to Tom Smith. Steve Davies made 31 and played some lovely strokes in his 19-ball innings, 5 fours in that. Roelof van der Merwe was also into double figures, made 17 not out, including 1 monster 6 down the ground. Bowlers did well. Ryan Higgins, the only really expensive one, wicketless 2 overs for 26, but David Payne took 1 for 38 from 4. Josh Shaw, his return to the side, did well. 1 for 13, only bowled 2 overs. Graham Van Buren, 1 for 35 from his 4. Tom Smith, a miserly 4 over spell, 2 for 25. An economy of just over 6. And then Benny Howell, 4 overs, 1 for 23. Mentioned he was expensive against Somerset in the reverse fixture, not so today. So the Gloucestershire chase gets underway very shortly. 162 needed to win. Alex Winter and myself, Rob Scanlon, will guide you through that innings. Very much looking forward to it. In the meantime, mentioned earlier that we've got a fantastic competition going on at the moment. Super Sunday 6 competition. If you're over 18, you live in mainland UK, you can enter. There's 6 prizes on offer, and I had a little wander to the Thatcher's Bar earlier on to talk you through it all.
Welcome into the lovely new Thatcher's Bar here at the Bristol County Ground. Now, it's been an incredibly tough year for everyone involved in cricket, and so here at Gloucestershire County Cricket Club we are immensely grateful to all of our partners and sponsors for their continued support throughout 2020. You might have seen during this past week that we've been promoting our brand new Super Sunday 6 competition, and we've got 6 fantastic prizes on offer, all courtesy of our partners and sponsors. The prizes are as follows. Prize number 1 is 3 bottles of 7 Fathoms rum. That's provided by Cayman Islands. Prize number 2, this is courtesy of Thatcher's Cider. It is 6 bottles of Thatcher's Cider and then a £50 voucher for the lovely Railway Inn down at Sanford. Prize number 3 is a 150th anniversary merchandise pack. That's courtesy of Barkin and Kirby. Prize number 4 is a 4-ball at Long Ashton Golf Course, and that's kindly supplied by Hunter Selection. Bath Ales have kindly donated 6 cases of Bath Ales Gem for you to win. And prize number 6 is a £100 Amazon voucher, and that's all courtesy of Amber Energy, our sponsors there. So the competition is only open for UK mainland residents. You have to be over the age of 18 and you must enter by 11:59 tonight. So not long to get your entries in. All you have to do is answer one simple question in the video coming up, and the very best of luck to you.
So yes, a great competition, and we're very grateful to our sponsors and partners this season. Some fantastic prizes on offer there, and I can thoroughly recommend the Railway Inn down at Sanford. Been there a few times prior to lockdown, and it's a lovely pub on the old Strawberry line down between Winscombe and Sanford. And yes, it's right next to the Thatcher's factory. Good luck. We've got until, well, midnight tonight, more or less, 11:59, to enter our Super Sunday 6 competition. Cayman Islands, Amber Energy, Thatcher's, Bath Ales, Barkin and Kirby, and Hunter Selection, all providing prizes for that one. 162 Gloucestershire require to win this game and book themselves a home quarter-final in the Vitality Blast 2020. Never won the competition. Often the bridesmaid, never the bride. Whereas Somerset have won it, and I remember speaking to Lewis Gregory at Finals Day a couple of years ago, and they've been sort of quite frequent visitors, but they've fallen short last couple of times. Alex, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, I think Somerset have got a good score, good runs on the board here. Generally, if you post a 160 mark, that's a good number to work with, and particularly against Gloucestershire lineup that hasn't chased well in the competition so far. Failed chasing 189 at Cardiff on Friday. And the first game of the competition here, they couldn't get up to chase just 151, but results since that opening game do suggest that that initial performance was a bit of an anomaly. So they'll be hopeful of chasing this score down here, and a win will confirm them as group winners and will knock Somerset out. Somerset have to win this game to have a chance of going through. They've got a good eye on the game at Edgbaston as well, which has remarkably turned around. This is an extraordinary performance by the Bears. They had been 20 for 4 in just the 4th over of their innings there, having won the toss and chose to bat. But a partnership of 171 between Dan Mousley and Adam Hose has seen the Bears post 191 for 5. Absolutely unbelievable turnaround there. Hose 119 from 64 balls, 7 sixes, and Dan Mousley, local youngster, 58 from 44 balls, his own contribution, have given the Bears every chance in that one up the M5. Bears needing to win, because even though they're on 11 points, their net run rate is so bad that a defeat would likely see them knocked out. But victory will confirm their passage through to the quarterfinals, almost certainly in second place, providing that Gloucestershire get relatively close to this target here of 162. But so many permutations to work through this afternoon in the final round of group stage matches. The other games that have something riding on them: Essex, Sussex at Chelmsford. Essex just 1-3-6 for 9 there, so Sussex big favourites to book their place in the quarter-finals. Leicestershire 1-5-4 for 5, a game they have to win at Old Trafford against Lancashire. Lancashire already through to the last 4, and unlikely to usurp Notts at the top of the table because of Notts' vastly superior net run rate. Notts themselves 150 for 6 against Durham at Trent Bridge, a game that Durham have to win to try and squeeze through. The battle at the top of the South Group is at the Oval, where Kent have posted 159 for 8. Surrey began the day top of the table, but Kent could leapfrog them to win the group there and earn a home quarter-final themselves. But here, Hammond and Dent had to open the innings for Gloucestershire. 162 the target.
Max Waller to open up from the Ashley Down Road end with his leg breaks. Chris Dent at the non-strikers end. Miles Hammond will face up. 2 left-handers at the crease. 162 for Gloucestershire to win. Here we go. Starts off with a looping, gentle full toss. Waller can turn, particularly the googly. I always remember his old coach telling me. So, apart from that, he relies a lot on clever variations of flight. That's pitching outside, surely. Everest of optimism, that. So Gloucestershire off the mark straight away. That Hammond single. Dent, his open stance, does like the whipping it through the leg side. Very slow, that one. Drift. There's a fielder at long on and cow corner, really, in front of the tractor over on the far side. Just parked up under the floodlight. That's a wide. Did he get a touch on that? Clearly not. It's a wide and it's run away. Be kept in by Will Smead. Alex Wharf signals a wide. That was all wrong. Three to the total. Full toss and given the treatment. Another poor delivery. Not what you expect from Waller in the power play overs, normally so reliable. So a couple of pretty rank deliveries there. Van der Merwe decent with the dive. First boundary of the innings. Better. End of the first over. Gloucestershire 8 without loss. Just 3 wides and a boundary. Added to that Miles Hammond single off the first ball. Max Waller took 3 for 18 in the reverse fixture. He's been miserly as usual. Economy of 6.16 this season, 8 wickets.
Yes, I think I'm right in saying that no other English leg spinner has taken more domestic T20 wickets than Max Waller. Very experienced cricketer.
Well, he's played as many matches as he has wickets, if that makes sense. 132 matches, 132 wickets. But he's also, obviously, a very good asset in the field. 77 catches he's taken in those 132 games. So he's an important part of this Somerset side. He's currently fielding mid-on. And the opening bowler from the pavilion end will be Ollie Sale.
He has been expensive in the competition so far. His overs have cost 10.48. Has picked up 10 wickets, but has gone round the park on a number of occasions. Ollie Sale with his wild hair, Can his bowling be more disciplined here? Sweet timing, but straight to extra cover. Deep square and third man. The man out here for Hammond. He's enjoyed a good tournament. 186 runs he's put up. But Dent has been the real story for Gloucestershire. 310 runs on his return to the T20 side. Enjoying a real second coming in the shortest format, having not played for 4 years before this season. Push for 2 here. Razam in off the deep square fence, but does enough, running to his bowling hand. Slightly carelessly there from Sale, and that hit the stumps. Could have ricocheted anywhere.
Yeah, it's a funny one with Dent, isn't it? Because he's sort of been the beneficiary, I guess, of Michael Klinger's retirement.
Yeah.
But you wonder if he's done something to his game that has made him more selectable, I guess, at the top of the order, as well as the fact that obviously there was a space there in his experience. But I mean, he's come back after years out of the T20 side anyway, and it just looked pretty effortless, really.
He's enjoyed such a good run in the first class game in the last 4 years. Remarkable numbers. Good pace from Sale. Cramping him up first of all. Yeah, the numbers that Dent has put up ranked with some of the best in Gloucestershire's history. To clearly be able to focus on the 4-day game in particular has reaped dividends for him. But showing his versatility. Enjoying an excellent T20 campaign. Finds the fieldsman again. Oh, that gets away with one there, Sale. Shorten a bit of width, and Dent can't take advantage. Better over here for the visitors. Not time this time, just run away towards backward point.
Yeah, he's coming for a bit of criticism, Ollie Sale, from a few Somerset fans, obviously, for being a bit expensive at the death during this competition. But he started off well. He's been ever present, so Jason Kerr and Andy Hurry keeping faith with him.
All picked up, man out of deep square, gone! Straight to Baba Razam at deep square. And Dent enjoying a great competition, but failing here today. Has picked out the lone man in the deep. Simple catch for Baba. And the Gloucesters lose an early one. 9 for 1. And Dent is on his way. Picked it up quite well, but picks out the man in the deep. And an early blow for Sale and Somerset. An excellent second over here.
Yeah, it's one of his go-to shots. The ball was there for it, but just seemed to maybe get caught in the breeze slightly. Baba Razam wasn't really that close to the boundary rope, so didn't have the legs on it by any stretch of the imagination. It does mean that Ian Cobain is in, though. And Ian Cobain, 5 more runs needed to go above the great Michael Klinger, we mentioned earlier on, at the top of the all-time T20 scorers list for the county. Just 5 more runs. He's had an excellent group stage. He's also hit 19 sixes in this season's competition. Van der Merwe into the attack. Cobain away straight away. Swept away for 4. 1 more run needed, so he's now level with Michael Klinger. There's a slip in, but that was going down the leg side. And nicely dispatched by Ian Cobain. 13 for 1 at the start of the 3rd over. And there is the single down to long on. That means that Ian Cobain is the all-time leading run scorer for Gloucestershire County Cricket Club in T20 cricket. Quite an achievement.
Yeah, wonderful career. Made his debut back in 2011, Cobain. Become more of a white ball specialist as his time here at Bristol has gone on. And now takes his place in the record books.
I must say, it's at moments like that, because at the end of this over, there would normally be an announcement. I might even have to do it myself, that statistic has happened, and you would normally get a huge round of applause, especially on Derby Day. And it's at moments like that where you really, really notice the lack of a crowd. It's a real shame. He deserves all the acclaim for that achievement. Shot through, kept a bit low, that one. Beats the dive, it's away through the offside. 4 runs. Cobain on to 9, 19 for 1, 3 overs gone. So let's put it into context. Ian Cobain now top of the run scorers list for Gloucestershire. He's
2,954
with 1 century, 15 50s. And he has played more matches than Michael Klinger, who made 88 appearances in his 6-year spell. Cobain playing his 120th, but still a healthy average, approaching 32.5. Strike rate is a bit healthier than Klinger's as well at 130.5, and he's hit 98 sixes, and that was his 246th for those counting. Great day for the Liverpudlian.
Good luck if you are counting, by the way.
Josh Davey into the attack. He was the one change for this game for Somerset in place of Craig Overton.
Steady start here for Gloucestershire, 19 for 1. 162 is their target to knock Somerset out of the competition. Just outside the guideline. Deep cover. Deep square the men back here for Davey. Quite a fine short third man. Backward point extra cover. Mid off, mid on. Edge of the 30-yard circle as you would expect. Mid wicket and short final leg completes the field. Oh, he's got him. Little touch through. Well, Davey, fine experiment in the 4-day game, and that was a very 4-day dismissal. Just a little push outside the off stump to a good length delivery, and Hammond has nicked off. Yeah, just held its line, very nicely bowled from Davey. Mentioned at the start of the show how those solid 4-day skills can transfer into the shortest format. And that has just got away from the left-hander. Little touch through, and Hammond has gone. So a couple of early blows here for Somerset. A couple of Gloucestershire batsmen with decent records in the competition have gone cheaply. And it's 20 for 2 in the 4th.
You mentioned obviously it straightened slightly. I think it also showed the slight tackiness in the pitch. And it sort of just looped past him. He kind of was through the shot a bit too early. You mentioned that we haven't seen many shots down the ground. I think he was trying to play it down the ground. And actually, if he'd have played it through extra cover, he might have been okay, but almost a slightly loopy bounce seemed to do for him as well. So impressive opening from Somerset. 2 wickets in the power play. Does mean that James Bracey has time to build an innings, though. He hasn't had much opportunities when it comes to batting. this summer. And now he has. There's a slip in though. Somerset on the attack.
Yeah, rightly so. Big wicket of Bracey at the crease. He's away straight away with a mistimed pull. Squirt away for a single. Yeah, Bracey in the competition, 112 runs in 6 innings. He faced 75 deliveries. Superb with the gloves. Some really smart glove work from Bracey. But time to provide some runs here if the Gloucesters are going to get near this target of 162. Couple down already. Don't want to go too hard in the power play. Just be a single, the deep square it will. Yeah, good scramble off the fence. Save a backward point. Can hear the noise in the outfield from the Somerset fieldsman. And they've got a good start here. Knowing they've got a side who have not chased well under pressure so far in the competition. And Gloucestershire won't want to get to the quarter-finals, knowing that they haven't won chasing a game so far. Just ratchet up the nerves if they are asked to bat second in the knockout stages. Mistimed again, and again it'll just be a single out towards deep square. And that is a fine over from Josh Davey to put Somerset on top. Wicket of Miles Hammond. A wide and 3 singles. So 23 for 2 after 4. Somerset on top trying to defend 161 to try and get through to the knockout stages of the T20 Blast. A ball to go on the over in fact here from Davey. And the extra ball on the over has gone to the fence. It's a fine shot from Ian Cobain. Back of a length and whipped away. And the boundary rather ruins the over because it was a superb set. He's banged one in short and Cobain onto it very, very quickly and timed it ever so well. So now the 4th over does come to an end, 27 for 2. Meanwhile at Edgbaston, Northants are trying to chase 192 to keep them in the competition. 19 for 2 they are in the 3rd over.
Ollie Sale has switched ends. Ball to James Bracey. Fiercely driven on the up, straight to Tom Abel.
That was a sweet strike, wasn't it? Straight to the fieldsman. Great timing.
Sales had an interesting time of it in his cricket career. He turns 25 in 10 days, but he made his T20 debut 4 years ago, but then he had a serious back injury. And his next appearance wasn't until this season. He's been ever present in the Somerset side in this season's Blast, but yeah, he's had a tough time of it. It's in the air and caught by the safe hands of Max Waller. And Bracey goes cheaply. He's out for 2. Again, trying to hit down the ground. It hasn't been very effective for batsmen today. Miscued on drive. Sale has a couple. And Gloucestershire in big trouble here. 27 for 3. You lose 3 wickets in the power play, it normally spells defeat.
Yep. Yeah, huge statistics against losing 3 in the power play, and that's exactly what Gloucestershire have done. Mentioned that they couldn't go too hard for the remainder of the power play, having lost those 2 early wickets. Now lost Bracey as well, and they're suddenly in a big hole. Still another 135 to get.
Ollie Sale has figures of 2 for 1. Ryan Higgins, the new batsman. So 2 right-handers at the crease. He's hit double figures in all 8 of his innings this season, Ryan Higgins.
And so far this chase going disturbingly similar to that against Glamorgan, where the Gloucesters rather blew themselves up too quickly and didn't give themselves a chance in the back end. Only an asking rate of 8 and over at the start of the chase. So they can afford to take their time a little bit. Got to give themselves a chance in the last 5 overs.
Pretty sharp that from Sale. His tail's up. It's pretty buoyant. It came through quickly.
Yeah, not the smartest shot there from Bracey, really. He's stood behind the stumps all innings in the first innings of the game, and as you say, Robert, would have seen that it was tricky to go through the line of the ball down the ground. It was an almost identical dismissal to Will Smead.
Whipped off Cobain's hip. That should run away for 4, and does. So strong off his pads, Ian Cobain.
Yeah, poor line with
First boundary, Ollie Sales conceded.
fine leg up in the circle and no room for error.
Lots of animation, lots of encouragement amongst the Somerset infielders. Picked up 3 wickets in these power play overs. Still 7 balls left in these fielding restrictions. Must be a single to Babar Azam. What a picture it is here in North Bristol today, though. The sun's shining. If you want to get in touch with us, use the hashtag #GoGlos. Saw someone on Twitter calling Ian Cobain King Cobain. Certainly has been this season. And throughout his Gloucestershire career, this innings taking him past Michael Klingett at the top of the all-time scorers list. Top of the pile, Ian Cobain. Landmark day for him. So just a shame that no crowd in to support him and acknowledge the effort.
Yeah, you think of some of the atmospheres we've had for side the derbies in the past. I don't think any could have been played out to a more sedate setting than this here today. There are a number of spectators in to an extent, with quite a few of the balconies occupied on the flats across from us. But last over the power play coming up here, the Gloucesters 32 for 3 in pursuit of 162. A lot of rebuilding to do to just get this chase going. Asking rate is very manageable for the moment, but need a partnership just to settle this chase down and quell this bright Somerset start. Had the noise from the fielding side. Very much on top at the moment. Half a cry would have slid down. Another dot ball. Good stuff from Van der Merwe. Full knowledge that the home side daren't make a mistake. Long on and deep mid wicket out here for the pair of right-handers. Just going to be a single 2 Waller running away from long on.
Actually averaging 63 with the ball going into this game, Van der Merwe. But when he has bowled, he hasn't gone for too many runs, so he still gets tossed the ball by Lewis Gregory.
Yeah, 7.2 is economy rate in the tournament. It's pretty good. Giving his captain good control. Finds the fielder. So far, some very good for Van der Merwe in the last over of this power play. Somerset got such a good start. 53 without loss after 5 they were. 54 for 1 in the power play. But they've been right over Gloucestershire here in this opening 6 overs. Can Van der Merwe finish it off? No, he can't, because he drags on short and has got punched away very smartly by Ian Cobain out to the extra cover fence. So that just gives the Gloucesters a boost right at the end of the power play, but it's still Somerset's period in the opening part of this chase. 38 for 3 the Gloucesters are. 162 is their target. Gloucestershire hoping to win this game to confirm not just victory of the central group, but a good seeding. They can get above Notts and Surrey and or Kent, and maybe even go into the quarterfinals as seed number 1. Somerset have to win to have a chance of going through, but the bad news for them is that the Bears are going well at Edgbaston. Northants 34 for 3 there, chasing 192.
New bowler is Lewis Goldsworthy. Into the power play. Gloucestershire 38 for 3. Somerset were 54 for 1. Just about when they were starting to get pegged back. That's Steve Davies and Babar Azam, who put on a half century for the opening stand, and then they just sort of, it was a bit nip and tuck, but Gloucestershire fought back, just kept nibbling away during the middle overs. It's been a different tale in their innings. Somerset having most of it in the power play. That's a clever shot from Ian Cobain. It'll bobble away for 4. Just take a look at the replay there, hitting with the spin. Got into position early and the head stayed still. That's a fine shot.
Yeah, son of a man in good touch there.
Stifled appeal. Alex Wolf not interested. Lewis Goldsworthy, just 19 years of age. He's from Cornwall. Only his 3rd match.
Yeah, a couple of impressive spells from him in the last 2 games. 2 with 21 against Northants on Friday. 2 with 24 at Cardiff. A couple of wins that have got Somerset in with a shout of qualifying here today.
Quickly onto that, but Ollie Sale down into a long barrier position. They even on the misfield they thought about a single, decided against it. Good decision. End of the over. 6 from it. 44 for 3. Higgins has 2. Cobain 29. The men out. Miles Hammond, Chris Dent, and James Bracey, all for single figure scores. All caught. Ollie Sale with a couple of wickets. And Josh Davey having Hammond caught behind. Means that Somerset remain on top, but Gloucestershire, like Somerset, both these sides have got plenty of batting down the order. Not over yet by any stretch of the imagination.
118 to get in 13 overs for Gloucestershire, so the required rate just flicks above 9s the first time. But very manageable at this stage. He's going to try and build this stand and get into the chase. Waller back at the pavilion end. Cobain now does represent a big wicket for Somerset, as Baba did for the home side. Gloucestershire will be looking to Cobain to get them deep into the innings from here. Protection down the ground. It's going to be a single again. Long on, long off, deep mid wicket, deep square, and deep cover the men out here. Backward point, short fine leg. A very tight, straight, short mid wicket. And quite a tight extra cover also in place here for Waller. Bowling very slowly here and almost squeezing one through Cobain. He's looked to bunt down the ground. Doesn't bowl too many conventional leggers, Max Waller. And again there, total change up, firing one in. Back very slow again and pulled away, but it'll be too close to deep mid wicket for the second run. Tidy stuff in the 8th over here from Waller and Somerset. Straight along on this will be again. Out towards the indoor school. And the big clock over there. Just about to flick towards 3 o'clock. Tidy stuff from Waller. Excellent again from him so far. And Somerset for the moment on top here. Gloucester's chasing 162. Looking to chase a score successfully for the first time in the competition. 49 for 3 after 8. Early wickets have hurt them. 2 batsmen in particular, in Dent and Hammond, who have gone very well in the competition so far. Gone cheaply. Can Cobain lead them into this chase?
England under-19 international Goldsworthy to continue. It's in the air, lands safely. Popped off a leading edge there. Heart and mouth moment there for Ian Cobain into 33. That's hit well, but is it hit too well? And it's been well caught by Babar Azam. Do you know what? I thought he dropped it then. He's looking into the sun. He's got his sunglasses on, but he just seemed to make a slight misjudgment. But Goldsworthy gets Ryan Higgins. He's looking for that cow corner area. A little stumble. Yeah, no, he didn't. Never squeezed out of his hands. And a big smile on the face of Babar Azam. A little bit of relief there. Just ball might have moved slightly in the air, but Ryan Higgins has to go.
I thought he nailed it to start with.
Yeah, he's out for 4. Well, Graham Van Buren is the new man.
The breeze is a little northerly, actually, just looking at the flag on the club office to our right. So maybe that did just held up in the breeze. Because when it left the bat, targeting the short air side of the ground, although not the shortest part of that boundary, I thought he'd cleared the pickets, but Azam holding on, and the Gloucester's under real pressure once again.
And this is a rejig as well, isn't it? Because normally Jack Taylor would come in.
Yeah.
But, Graham Van Buren. And a slip in now. Off the mark straight away. The call is 2. It's Babar Azam with the fielding, and there's a slip from Van Buren which costs him the chance to come back. Taking pace off the ball, Somerset. Adapted to the conditions. Not trying to bowl too fast. Goldsworthy happy to Give it a bit of a tweak. Oh, very nearly snuck through there. They'll get a single. It's just seemed to follow Van Buren.
It just skidded on, didn't it, and almost snuck through.
Just settle for one. That single means that Ian Cobain now gone above Chris Dent in terms of run scoring in this season's competition. Dent only made 4 earlier on, as you can see. Miles Hammond, his opening partner, caught behind for 3. Bracey chipped the ball to mid-on for a single-figure score, and then that last over, Ryan Higgins caught as well by Babar Azam off the bowling of Goldsworthy. Somerset right on top now. Still 108 needed for Gloucestershire to win. 54 for 4. 11 overs remaining.
Yeah, the asking went creeping towards double figures for the first time. The Gloucester's under some pressure. That'll help though. Fired in and just flicked on its way to the fine leg fence. Fields up inside the circle, and he touched to sneak it through. Cobain has done just that.
Signalled as runs.
Yeah, a little bat through. The way the ball went off quickly suggested it was bat. And a badge to begin the 10th. Well, Cobain is there. Gloucestershire with every hope, but they need to get much deeper into this innings with wickets in hand. And you can see what they've done with rejigging the batting order, try and keep Taylor and all his hitting ability for a dip at the death perhaps. But they've got to get to that death period with the game still alive. Need a partnership. It's got to play some smart cricket here in the middle overs. Cannot afford to be bombed out of this chase, as was the case against Glamorgan, where they lost wickets too quickly, much too quickly. Very little at the back end, despite the best efforts of Van Buren, who actually got them relatively close. Going to push for 2 here. Come back comfortably enough. So better over here with the Gloucesters. Waller has had good control so far, but a little bit of pressure here in his 3rd over. Just a single this time though, out to the man at deep square. Birmingham right on top at Edgbaston. Northants 52 for 4 there, chasing 192. Their asking rate is on its way to 11s. Northants sliding out of the competition, it seems, at the moment. Sharp one here to end the over. A much better set there for Gloucestershire. And they reach the halfway stage with only 64 on the board and 4 down. They have it all to do in the back end of this chase. 162 the target. A game that Gloucestershire need to, they are going to lose, need to get as close as possible to limit the damage on net run rate. It shouldn't cost them top spot in the group. There is still potential with that score at Edgbaston for the Bears to produce a remarkable victory to boost their net run rate, but the Bears' net run rate began so low at the start of the day. Chance of a swing wild enough that he usurped the Gloucesters was always going to be extremely unlikely. Still, going to be one here for the Shire. 64 for 4, 162 the target.
There's 26 runs scored in that 5 over spell. In fact, the 4 over spell, sorry, between the power play and the midway point. Appreciate the tweet there from Donna Court. Enjoying watching the cricket from home. Desperate to maintain the local bragging rights as well. Of course, Gloucestershire won when these two sides met earlier in the competition. Van der Merwe beats the bat of Van Buren. Left arm spinner to left arm spinner. Going for the quick single here, the throws to the bowler's end, and in the end, safely through. Bain back on strike, has 43. He's the man that Somerset know they need to get to break the back of this Gloucestershire lineup. Fine stop. Could have been a couple of runs there for Goldsworthy's intervention. Chipped in the air. Landed safely. Fizzing with energy, Van der Merwe, when he's bowling. If he'd have been able to dive for that, I'm sure he would have. Bit of a live wire. It's all over you sometimes if you're batting. Scampering after this one, they'll get 1 run. Just the 3 singles from the over so far, 1 ball left. .95 more runs required. These two have put on 17 for the 5th wicket. Fine over, 4 singles from it. Somerset continue to dominate. Adrian Thomas on Twitter pointed out to me that the partnership between Van der Merwe and Gregory, which was 54, was actually the highest 6th wicket partnership for Somerset against Gloucestershire in T20 games over the last 17 years. Previous best was in 2009, Peter Trigo and Wes Durston down at Taunton, which was 45 unbeaten.
Yeah, that stand at the moment looks very, very important indeed for the visitors as they chase a victory to keep alive their hopes of reaching the quarter-finals. That's going to land short of mid-wicket and a single to begin the 12th over. These two have steadied the ship here for Gloucestershire. They've got to try and keep the game alive into the final overs. Still hitting to come. Jack Taylor in particular. This is in the air and just going to land short. Fieldsman racing in from point. Couldn't quite get there with the dive. Valiant effort. And Van Buren survives. Swept away this time, but not timed. Just be a single to short fine leg. Somerset just beginning to turn the screw here. Just going to be a single down to long off. Waller doing well off the fence to his left-hand side. But that is well struck. Fine strike from Graham Van Buren as he cleared the mid-wicket fence. I think he has here. Saw him striking a fine long ball here against Glamorgan in the opening game, and that was picked up really well. Much needed maximum for the Gloucesters. Past short fine leg this time. Should be able to get back for the second run. Easily trot back for 2. And those couple of deliveries makes it a good set there for the home side. Just to get this chase moving in the right direction once again. 79 for 4 after 12 overs. So 83 more required in 8 overs. As long as they can keep the asking rate around that 10 mark until the last 4 maybe. They'll be well in the chase. But Somerset need to win, remember, to have a chance of reaching the last 4, but the last 8, I beg your pardon. But the bad news for them is that the Bears have, well, they're all over Northants at Edgbaston. Northants 59 for 5 there in the 9th over. So need 2 a ball pretty much for the remaining 11 overs of that one. So the Bears almost certain to win, you would think there. So if Somerset were to win this, it would lead them sweating on a best 3rd place spot.
83 needed from 48 balls. Davey back into the attack. Cobain just 2 away from a half century with that single tucked off his hip. Somerset still strong favourites, but with Cobain still at the crease and Van Buren starting to motor with that 6 in the previous over, you never know. You're also fully aware that Jack Taylor and a certain Benny Howell are still to come in. I recall Gloucestershire putting their foot down in the reverse fixture. Gloucestershire were 136 for 6 with 5 overs to go. They hit 67 in the final 30 balls, albeit on a different pitch. But yeah, Benny Howell certainly tucked into some bowling down there, and I'm sure he'll be hoping to play a part here. He might be needed now as the ball's in the air and caught by Goldsworthy. Van Buren out for 15. Gloucestershire 5 down.
Yeah, one of those moments that the home side just hoping falls for them. Wild edge. Could have flown anywhere. Hasn't travelled far enough to clear short 3rd man. So another wicket goes. Not much that Van Buren can take out of the target. And so out comes Captain Taylor.
Josh Davey, it's only his 5th T20 game of the season, but he was coming into this with an average of 12.37 because he picked up 8 wickets. He's now into double figures, and he's got remarkable figures actually across his career. Sub 23 is bowling average in ODIs, first class and T20 cricket. He's a very, very fine player.
Yep. Talked about it throughout the afternoon, that good skills transcend all formats, and that's certainly the case for Josh Davey.
Got figures of 2 for 9 at the moment. It is Jack Taylor. The batsman crossed while the ball was in the air, so it's Cobain who takes strike for this next delivery. Squirts through the gap. This could be 50 for Cobain. Could even be 4 runs. A well retrieved bit of relay fielding, but they'll come back for 3. Cobain has a half century on a landmark day for the Liverpudlian. Nice round of applause from those on the balcony.
That's nice to hear, isn't it? Haven't had much atmosphere throughout the summer really, but a Sunday, all out on the balconies there, and a very generous round of applause.
7 fours. Surprisingly, no 6s. 35 balls, I think it took him. Yep, 35 balls. They're going to scamper through for a single here with Davey lying almost motionless on the turf. He's fine, I think. He's fine.
That was a brave early shout.
He's just proposing to his captain. Oh no, he's fine. He's fine.
He says, clambering out of his hole.
It's quite dry out there. There's a patch on the outfield to our left that's very, very dry. Might have just hit the turf a bit quick and hard. End of the over. So Canny and Cobain guide his side home. He's on 52 not out. He's got his captain with him. Benny Howell still to come in. 85 for 5, 77 needed from 42 deliveries. Somerset still the favourites, but Gloucestershire never ever count them out. If they can chase it down, will it be the first successful run chase in this season's Vitality Blast? They've had 2 tries at it, both against Glamorgan, and came up short both times.
Meanwhile,
winning the toss, remember, earlier on, and electing to bat. Max Waller back into his stride from the pavilion end.
Meanwhile, at Edgbaston, Northants almost out of that game now. 73 for 6 in the 11th over, chasing 192. Almost no chance to get up from that position, but the Gloucesters still in the contest here. But are going to have to go some. Cobain has given themselves a little opportunity. Just going to be a single to deep mid wicket. The other group leaders, Notts in control of their game against Durham at Trent Bridge. Durham 84 for 6, chasing 151. So it looks like Notts are going to close out victory there to win the North group, and that'll knock Durham out. And Surrey 191 for 1, chasing 161 at the Oval to beat Kent. So likely that Surrey are going to win that one to win the South group. It's a neat touch, but can't run it far enough away from short third man for any more than a single. Fired in from Waller. They'll push for 2, but I don't think they'll be able to get back now. It's a good scramble off the mid-wicket fence. Just singles here in the 14th over. Asking rate ratcheting up once again. That'll be just one more to deep square. But Waller about to bowl out here. Maybe the chap was see off the threat of the leg spinner and try and attack at the other end. Brief cry for LBW, but Jeff Evans reckoning that was sliding down leg. But fine over and a fine spell from Waller. And just the 4 singles from it. So 14 gone, and the Gloucesters remain behind in the chase. 89 for 5, 162 the target. So 73 more required. And 36 deliveries. And pressure really on the home side now.
Polly Warburton on Twitter using the hashtag #GoGloss said, "Come on boys, Sweet Caroline." I think that's the song request. I'm just looking across to Chris Fortune, our DJ, who's a little smile and a nod would indicate that's probably on the playlist somewhere. Listen out for that. At the moment it's Muse and it's Lewis Goldsworthy about to bowl. Lammonby losing his cap there as he threw the ball in. Just a single. .35 balls remaining. 72 needed to win. Cobain goes big and he goes straight, and that's all the way for 6.
Well, that's a biggie. That's third tier job. Big strike from Cobain.
That hit Miles Hammond's flat.
It was a hefty blow. Yeah, found the 3rd story balcony, I think.
I'm sure he's got a thing on the 3rd story. Could be a bill from...
I don't think he'll mind a window repair if his teammate can get his side up here.
That was Cobain's 20th 6 of the campaign. It's also his 99th for the county. Now it's Taylor's turn to tee off. Another big hit. 6 runs. They've targeted this over. Lewis Goldsworthy's been good up to now, but the youngster's going to have to come back from a couple of big hits. One from Ian Cobain, and now Captain Jack Taylor goes deep.
I don't think he actually got all of it. It was a bit of a drag across to the leg side, but plenty on it into that little stand in front of the flats.
One big over, you never know.
Yeah,
100 up.
I think they may have had a little chat and perhaps decided that now was the time to go, just to prevent the situation from getting totally out of hand.
Can Goldsworthy respond? Delicate dab, just be a single. Replacement bat for Ian Cobain. That's why he's out of your picture at the moment. Here he comes. He's gone for 15 so far, 1 ball remaining. That's pretty crisply hit, and that's gone for 4. So the over goes for 19 runs, and Gloucestershire up to 108 for 5. 54 needed from 5 overs, so 54 from 30 deliveries. It's attainable, certainly with these two at the crease, and Benny Howell's still in the hutch. Jack Taylor has 11, but Ian Cobain racing along on 65. Looks just in the best form ever. And here we go, as demanded. Neil Diamond's on.
Yeah, it's an over to get the Gloucesters right back in the chase. Still work to do, but for the first time, some real pressure here on the visitors. Elsewhere, Durham are going to lose at Trent Bridge. Leicestershire could win at Old Trafford. Lancashire 86 from 56 needed there. Only 1 down though. A Leicestershire victory would get them to 11 points and a chance to sneak through. Northants 96 for 6. Need 96 in 45 balls there. Almost certainly is not going to happen. Now Lewis Gregory from the pavilion end. It's going to be a single to begin the 16th over. But that big over from Goldsworthy has just revived this chase for the Gloucesters. Chat between Taylor and Cobain. Oh, flicked on its way, that's got away for 4 runs. Gregory getting his line wrong with fine leg up in the circle and turned away to the fence. And some real momentum building here for the home side all of a sudden. He's been behind this chase almost from the off. There's a poor line from Gregory. Free flick away from Cobain, and he's up to 69 now. Cry for LBW, but Jeff Evans having none of it. Just be a leg by out to short third man.
Mentioned it, Alex, has been a landmark day for Ian Cobain. He's also gone past 3,000 run mark for Gloucestershire in T20 cricket since that debut in 2011. So not only gone to the top of the scoring charts for Gloucestershire in T20 cricket, past Michael Klinger at the top of the pile, now gone past 3,000 runs as well.
Taylor back on strike. Taylor down the ground. Taylor straight along off. It's a big wicket. Gregory under pressure early in the over has now found the wicket of Jack Taylor. What was he quite trying to do with this? Don't think he was going all guns blazing down the ground. Maybe just trying to chip it away for a single, but way too much on it. Comfortable catch for Waller. Taylor goes without doing too much damage. And the Gloucesters slip again in this chase. 1-1-4 for 6 now in pursuit of 162.
Well, man striding to the crease is Benny Howell, who was out of the game for 13 months. A couple of nasty muscular injuries. But he's back, and he came back, of course, in the reverse fixture and teed off. Had a lot of fun down at Taunton. 49 not out he made.
Just 18 balls, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
3 fours, 5 sixes. It was a decent knock. And
we'll need something similar here if the Gloucesters are going to get up. Still 48 shy of victory and time ticking away from them. 26 more balls remain in the innings. Cobain has the bowling back. Just going to be a single to deep mid-wicket. So is it Benny or bust here for the Gloucesters? With the Bears winning, may have half an eye perhaps on the net run rate situation. Or want to get as close as possible. Want to be blown away and lose by a good short, but in truth they've probably done enough already to prevent such a wild swing of their net run rate. Really good from Gregory. It's a tremendous comeback in the over, having gone for the early boundary. He's found the really important wicket of Taylor and just gone for a couple of singles. So what began as a decent over for Gloucestershire ends in another good one for Somerset, and 47 are now required from the final 24 deliveries.
there's a tense atmosphere in a house in the lovely Forest of Dean. Carolyn Hewlett has tweeted us using the hashtag #GoGlos. Somerset girl married to Gloucestershire boy watching from the Forest of Dean. Probably hoping for a tie, I suppose. Had another tweet as well. Come on, Glos, I'm a Gloucester-born lad supporting from Aberdeen. That's where Josh Davey was born, I think. Can't wait to get back down to the county ground as soon as possible to back the boys. Yeah, we can't wait to see you, Aidan, and indeed everyone else when we can safely allow supporters back in. Ground looks a picture. Ollie Sale back into the attack. Starts with a wide. A big wide as well.
Update from the South Group. Surrey are about to beat Kent at the Oval, so they're going to win the South Group. Kent will be stuck on 12 points, and it will give Sussex the opportunity to leap above them. And they need 37 and 31 at Chelmsford to beat Essex.
A thick edge. Fumble. Davey onto it. Just one run. .45 runs required for victory for Gloucestershire. Benny Howell takes guard. Ollie Sales bowled superbly, 2 wickets. Got rid of Dent and Bracey, 2 left-handers. Flicked away, but I think it will just be 1. Yeah, they're not coming back for the second. So another good over shaping up here for Ollie Sale and Somerset. Three overs after this, you'd think Lewis Gregory would have another one, considering his previous effort. Josh Davies still got a couple up his sleeve as well, 2 for 14.
The way things are going this afternoon, looking as if victory for Somerset will be enough to claim one of those best third place spots.
Cobain goes downtown and finds the boundary all the way for 6.
Well, it's almost a one-man show, this run chase for Gloucestershire, but Cobain is taking it as deep as possible. Length ball from Sale. Has to be swung up over the leg side. You can see him kicking the turf as that one sailed away over long on.
Nice pun. Good response. I'm going to run to Will Smead though. And Cobain will take strike for the next over. 3 remain. 18 balls, 35 needed. Hey Jude comes on over the speakers. 127 for 6. Benny Howell has 2. Ian Cobain magnificent again. 79 not out. That's the card for Gloucestershire. Not a great deal else to write home about, but 79 from 50 balls for Ian Cobain. 5 4s, 2 6s. A cut above today, as he has been throughout the campaign. Just so consistent. Double figures in, it's now 7 of his last 8 games.
Meanwhile at Edgbaston, signs of life for Northants all of a sudden. They were 6 down, totally out of the game, but their new signing Tom Taylor and Rob Keogh have just about kept the game alive. 58 from 31 they need there. That would put the Catamanga Pigeons if Northants were to get up from nowhere. Here, Somerset trying to close this one out. Just a single to begin the 18th. 128 for 6, 34 needed in 17 deliveries. Howell and certainly Cobain, in the form we've seen so far this season, have the ability to get the Gloucesters up. Somerset themselves produced a late charge in their chase in the return fixture last Sunday, albeit falling short. Good from Gregory, right up in the block hole, just a couple of singles. Field all out in front of the bat here, deep square, deep mid-wicket, long off, long on, and deep cover the men back. Short fine leg, short third man, backward point, extra cover. Deflection off Howell, I believe there. Possibly would have been 2 between long on and long off, but that ricochet means just another single. Great start to the 18th over for Lewis Gregory in Somerset. 32 off 15 required. Asking rate above 2 a ball now. That's just going to run away for a single more, so superb stuff here from Gregory. Just when that maximum from Cobain had revived the Gloucesters once more. Really good stuff from Lewis Gregory. No matter what touch you're in, little you can do with that. Speared in. Right in the block hole. Excellent skills from the Somerset captain. Potentially a match winning over for the moment. Further to get from 13 deliveries. That's a long ball, and that clears the fence. And once again, just when the Gloucesters need it, they find a long ball to keep the chase alive. Remarkable stuff here at Bristol. And this game's still very much in the balance. Just when it looked as if Lewis Gregory was finding the over to swing the game decisively Somerset's way. Howell clears the straight boundary to keep the Gloucesters alive. 24 needed from the final 2 overs.
That was a pure strike, that, wasn't it? Straight as they come. And Gregory, that was a brilliant over. It looked like it was going to be a crucial over. And actually, just that last ball got it slightly wrong. Benny Howell, not much of a follow through, just great technique. Straight down the ground. It was quite a flat hit, it didn't go high. Right in between the two fielders. And away for 6. Josh Davey will bowl the penultimate over then. Exciting times here at the County Ground in Bristol. It's 138 for 6, 24 needed. Bit of Scottish music for Josh Davey to enjoy.
Oh,
Up in the air, and that is a big hit into the car park, away towards the groundsman's hut. Ian Cobain. 18 needed now. Back-to-back sixes at the end of the 18th and now at the start of the 19th.
Awful delivery, must be said. Length ball at the pads, just asked to be swung towards that shorter boundary, and Cobain has picked it up beautifully. (18 from 11), goodness. Cobain's highest score of the summer.
18 to win. That's down the leg side, it's a wide. Somerset wobbling here. The pressure is really on now. They had a great power play, defending their total of 161 for 7. Well on top, but they haven't been able to dislodge Ian Cobain, who just looks like he's playing a different game at the moment. Another wide. Davey, normally so miserly. Back-to-back wides after the 6. We've only had one legal delivery, and that went over the rope. 16 needed now.
From 11 balls, all of a sudden, are the Gloucesters the favourites now?
Well, he's got away with that. It's a brave delivery. Slower bouncer. Cobain's having a chat with Alex Wharf, the umpire, saying, did that not go over?
Yeah, I think it was just about fine, because as he played the shot, he was walking at the bowler almost. It gave the impression that it was a bit too high. Could come back from Davey, but still under real pressure.
16 from 10. That's away, should just be 1. Ollie Sale Fields. 15 from 9.
Slice of luck there, that was travelling.
We have lots of nervous Somerset and Gloucestershire fans watching this one. The West Country Derby going right to the wire. They're going to run through here, and they've scrambled a single. Good delivery. Pinned Benny Howell, really. You just couldn't quite latch on to it. 14 from 8.
So 2 balls to go in the over. Can they get it into single figures from the last? It's generally the tipping point. If it's double figures from the last over, chances favour the bowling side, but if they can get it down below 10.
Cobain surveying that shorter leg side boundary. Davey must be so determined not to feed that area. Gregory has a chat with him. He's captain. No one saving the single on the onside. field up in the offside. He decides to go through there. He doesn't. He's gone down the ground and he's been caught. And it's Tom Abel with the catch. And look what it means. Ian Cobain, superb knock of 89 comes to an end. A final twist. Somerset about to drag it back here right at the death. 7 deliveries left, 14 needed. Cobain out for a brilliant 89.
Well, he's played wonderfully well and has given his side every chance here, but it's a crucial, crucial wicket. And you can hear the applause for him, probably the biggest applause you'll see in a cricket ground all summer, really, with the flats well populated today on this beautiful day at Bristol. But Cobain's best of the summer. Can't bring his side to him. You can see how disappointed he is, trudging off. And it'll be down to Howell. And now Josh Shaw at number 9 to try and scramble the Gloucesters home.
It's Tom Smith, the new batsman, but the ball was in the air. And the batsman crossed whilst it was going to Tom Abel. So it will be Benny Howell to face the last ball of the penultimate over. Can he find the boundary? Spoons the ball in the air. It's going to land safe. They'll take a single to Babar Azam. It means Howell is on strike for the final over. So the final over is set up beautifully. 13 needed. Howell in the middle. 11 not out. Neil Diamond trying to inspire the Gloucestershire players here. Who's going to bowl the final 6? Looks like it's going to be Ollie Sale.
Meanwhile at Edgbaston, quite remarkably, Northants have kept the games alive there. And they need 23 in 16 deliveries. That is an utterly remarkable turnaround because they were totally out of that game. But to Tom Taylor, I think on his debut, having signed from Leicestershire, has made 42 and 23 deliveries, and they're still in within a shout there, Northants, of getting up to chase 192. Somerset have to win here to have any chance of qualifying. And they've got 12 to defend here from the last over. I worked out many a permutation yesterday. Didn't quite factor the tie into the equation, which is very much a possibility here. It's going to be Ollie Sale from the pavilion end. And Benny Howell is going to take the bowling with 13 needed for the Gloucesters to confirm top spot in the central group. Having got this close, and with Northants having revived unbelievably at Edgbaston, almost certainly now, well, certainly so, Gloucestershire are going to win the central group regardless of what happens in this final over. But how dearly they'd love to get up in the chase against their local rivals, a chance to knock them out of the competition, and more importantly, having failed twice already to chase scores in the competition. So it's going to be Sale to Howell with long leg, deep square, deep mid wicket, long on and deep cover back. There's a short third man backward point, an extra cover and a mid off. Here comes Sale. 13 to win. Turn into the gap, should be 2. Back they come. Applause rings round Neville Road once again. 11 from 5 needed. Can Benny Howell, the cult hero of the West Country, get his side over the line here?
I swear everyone was sat down in this marquee earlier on. No.
Everybody on their feet, feeling the tension. Here comes Sale, hair flowing. Slam down the ground, and he's going to beat long on and go for 4. Fine strike from Benny Howell. Knew where he wanted to target. Beats mid off. And much too much for long on to do running around in front of the pavilion. So 7 from 4. And once again a twist. Gloucestershire right back within a chance of getting up here in this chase of 162. Long off goes back. Long leg is up inside the circle. Sale's on his way again. Oh, brilliant. Superb Yorker. Nailed it. And nothing Benny Howe can do with that. So 7 from 3. And another change in the field. Or is this just Lewis Gregory coming up to have a word with his bowler? Yes, it is. An encouraging tap on the backside for the youngster. Gregory retreats back to long off. And Sale is charging away from the sun. Hammered away and finds the fence. Beats the dive of mid-wicket. And Benny Howell is getting the Gloucesters up here all of a sudden. 3 from 2 balls required. What a thriller here at Bristol. Stunning sunny day. The two rivals meeting in a contest to decide whether Somerset can get through and join their neighbours in the last 8. Have had the game in the palm of their hands throughout. But at the death, is Benny Howell getting Gloucestershire up here? 3 off 2 balls required. 2 for the tie. Field has stayed the same. In comes Sale. All goes down the ground. Fielder coming in. Gregory, yes, caught! Caught on the long off fence. And Somerset live once again. Howell trying to finish it in one blow. Just didn't quite get the timing right. And Captain Gregory, running around the boundary, has taken it in the end quite a comfortable catch.
What a game this is. Lewis Gregory there running round with the commentators in the radio tent, like basically right about 5 metres from him. Oh, he kept his cool very well there. Benny Howell, I think it was the right shot. He just got it slightly squarer. He was probably fine. But yeah, it's now it's a lot for. I think the batsman crossed, so
yeah,
David Payne comes in, but it's, I think it'll be Tom Smith to face.
On strike it will, yep. 3 required for victory off the last ball, 2 for a tie. Meanwhile, at Edgbaston, Northants are going to win. Unbelievable stuff. 3 from 8 balls they require there. They're going to beat Birmingham, which certainly means that there's no calculation involved in terms of Gloucestershire winning the group. But it means that potentially Somerset and Northants are all going to be tied on 11 points. And it's going to be a net run rate scramble, of which Somerset hold an advantage. So at the moment, it looks as if Somerset might have a chance to qualify in second place in the table. Yet Northants have won. That is extraordinary. What a performance. They were way out of that chase. But they've won at Edgbaston. So Northants go to 11 points. Can Somerset join them here? Northants have gone above the Bears on net run rate. If Somerset were to win this, they'd go above Northants on net run rate and potentially knock Northants out of the competition.
So it all comes down to the final ball, and the Somerset have a chance of getting to the next stage.
Long conversation here. There's a committee meeting at the pavilion end. 159 for 8. This chase was always just behind Gloucestershire. But first, that extraordinary hitting from Cobain, and then Benny Howell's heroics appeared to be getting the home side up. But Howell went for glory. Howell paid the price. And it's left 3 needed from the final delivery. A thrilling conclusion to the Vitality Blast group stages. Long conversation about the field here. A 2 for a tie would not be good enough for Somerset. They have to keep Gloucestershire down to a single here off this final ball. Here we go then. 3 to win for the Gloucesters. 2 for the tie. Tom Smith, the man on strike, facing his first ball. Ollie Sale from the pavilion end. In he comes. Swung leg side is past the fielder, and the Gloucesters have won it. Tom Smith at the death has won the game for Gloucestershire. Ollie Sale cannot believe it. He's got his hands on his knees, despondent, because Somerset are out. The Gloucesters somehow have got up here to chase 162. Tom Smith has struck the final ball for 4. Gloucestershire have won by 2 wickets. They have won the Central Group, and Somerset are out. A quite remarkable game of T20 cricket, the shortest format at its absolute best. Both innings swinging one way then the next. But it's Tom Smith who has got Gloucestershire over the line. And they've won by 2 wickets. They retain the local bragging rights. Somerset's miserable record here at Bristol continues. And Lewis Gregory's side are out of the T20 blast. Extraordinary.
Well, you have to feel for Ollie Sale. He's still out there in the middle. He can't pull himself off the pitch at the moment. He's absolutely devastated. And it's hard to take that. It's the last over. He's trying to be consoled by his teammates at the moment. The Gloucestershire team erupted obviously from the dugout when that final blow was struck by Tom Smith, and what a shot it was, considering another aspect of that was it was the one ball he faced in the game. But Sale didn't quite get it right, and he's absolutely devastated. Gloucestershire 15 points, top the table by 4.
Yeah, that last ball going for 4 was really crucial in terms of several other teams, because it means that Northants qualify, having looked totally out of that game at Edgbaston. Their victory has taken them above the Bears on net run rate, so they've qualified in 2nd place. Wins for Notts and Surrey mean that they take seeds 1 and 2. So Gloucestershire qualify in 3rd place in the table of qualifiers. So it means that they'll play the side that finish 6th. And we wait to see who that'll be, because Lancashire against Leicestershire is the other game still going on. But it looks like heading the way of Leicestershire, because Lancashire need 14 in 17 deliveries. Leicestershire needed to win that to have any chance of qualifying, and they would go to 11 points. But their net run rate, it might be enough, you know. It might be enough. I think Leicestershire may be about to sneak through, because their net run rate is better than the Bears. So I think the Bears have thrown away their chance of going through here, because the South Group has finished. Surrey have won. They've beaten Kent, and Sussex have won at Essex. So the South Group finishes Surrey 16 points, Sussex 13 points. So Sussex look likely to take the 4th spot for a home quarter-final. Northants have qualified in 2nd place from the Central Group. Kent are going to qualify as one of the best 3rd place teams, and so it becomes a shootout between the Bears and Leicestershire. And if Leicestershire were to close that out there, Lancashire needing 37 and 15 balls, that is going to be enough to take Leicestershire through, but it is going to take them through as seed 8. Kent are going to be seed 7. And just looking around the records of the teams second in the table, it could be Northants coming here to Bristol for the quarter-final. But we'll try and wrap it up in a few moments' time once that game is finished at Old Trafford. They're a little bit behind everybody else, it seems, because they've still got a couple of overs to go. But the news here from Bristol is an extraordinary end to the group stage, and Gloucestershire have beaten Somerset by 2 wickets.
There's the scorecard in front of you. A remarkable game. Ian Cobain top scoring with 89 from 57 balls, 9 fours, 3 sixes. More than got past the 5 he needed to go past Michael Klinger at the top of the all-time scoring ranks in T20 cricket for Gloucestershire. Fantastic innings. He was out late on, and it looked like that final twist might go Somerset's way. But little contributions from Benny Howell, who hit a couple of 4s and a big 6 before he was out late on as well in the final over. It was 3 needed from the final ball, and Tom Smith, as you can see, 1 ball, 4 runs. What a moment for him. Normally the reliable go-to man with the ball, needed with the bat today, just for 1 ball, and he delivered. And sparked scenes of celebration on the balconies away to our left-hand side and the dugouts and the players as well. Bit of a special victory that for Gloucestershire. Somerset will be hugely disappointed. Little contributions as well from Graham Van Buren, 15, hit 1-6 in that. But really it was the Ian Cobain show, and just with a little bit of support down the order. Cobain, superb again today, absolutely superb. So, whilst we wait to confirm what happens to Gloucestershire in this home quarter-final, who they will face, let's take another check-in on this competition we've had running today, because you haven't got long to enter. It's our Super Sunday 6 competition, all courtesy of our many sponsors here and partners at Gloucestershire County Cricket Club. They've all donated some fantastic prizes, which you can win. I went along to the Thatcher's Bar earlier to explain how.
Welcome into the lovely new Thatcher's Bar here at the Bristol County Ground. Now, it's been an incredibly tough year for everyone involved in cricket, and so here at Gloucestershire County Cricket Club we are immensely grateful to all of our partners and sponsors for their continued support throughout 2020. You might have seen during this past week that we've been promoting our brand new Super Sunday 6 competition, and we've got 6 fantastic prizes on offer, all courtesy of our partners and sponsors. The prizes are as follows. Prize number 1 is 3 bottles of 7 Fathoms rum. That's provided by Cayman Islands. Prize number 2, this is courtesy of Thatcher's Cider. It is 6 bottles of Thatcher's Cider and then a £50 voucher for the lovely Railway Inn down at Sanford. Prize number 3 is a 150th anniversary merchandise pack. That's courtesy of Barkin and Kirby. Prize number 4 is a 4-ball at Long Ashton Golf Course, and that's kindly supplied by Hunter Selection. Bath Ales have kindly donated 6 cases of Bath Ales Gem for you to win. And prize number 6 is a £100 Amazon voucher, and that's all courtesy of Amber Energy, our sponsors there. So the competition is only open for UK mainland residents. You have to be over the age of 18 and you must enter by 11:59 tonight. So not long to get your entries in. All you have to do is answer one simple question in the video coming up, and the very best of luck to you.
It's a great competition, and we've seen a great game here today at the Bristol County Ground. Gloucestershire squeezing home by 2 wickets in the West Country Derby to wrap up the group stage of the Vitality Blast, knocking Somerset out in the process and finishing top of the table with 15 points from 10 games, 7 wins, 2 defeats, those both to Glamorgan, and 1 no result. Northamptonshire finished second, 11 points from their 10 games. Warwickshire also on 11 points after their defeat today. Birmingham Bears, obviously in the T20, and Somerset finishing on 9 points from 10 games. Lewis Gregory's much fancied side knocked out today. If you want to enter our Super Sunday 6 competition, you've got until 11:59 p.m. tonight to do so. 6 fantastic prizes on offer. You have to be over the age of 18 to enter. But it's been a special day here at the Bristol County Ground. Remember that Gloucestershire have booked themselves a home quarter-final on the 1st of October. All the matches, all the quarter-finals are scheduled for that day at 6:30 p.m. start. We'll have full coverage and a live stream here on the Gloucestershire County Cricket Club website. We hope you can join us for that. Thank you so much for all your tweets today. We've enjoyed reading them, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. We'll have reaction to this game, including confirmation on who Gloucestershire will face in the quarter-finals here at the Bristol County Ground on our social media platforms. Go to @GlosCricket on Twitter, on Facebook as well. And the official website will carry a match report as well as reaction to this game. We'll be speaking to one or two of the players. In fact, I can see one or two heading over now. So we'll get prepared for that. And we wish you a very good rest of the weekend. Gloucestershire in a home quarter-final after beating Somerset by 2 wickets. Good night, everyone.